A Virginia GOP councilman was doused with gasoline and set on fire. It does not appear to be political. Everybody's speculating as to what happened, but it is a terrifying story because this guy was a politician. However, rumors are circulating, so we'll look into what the rumors may be. We don't know a whole lot right now, but it is a horrifying story. And, I hope for the quick recovery of this man. It's terrifying. He apparently was doused. He tried fleeing. The guy went after him. It is an absolutely crazy story. It's kicking off. So we will address this as this is the top trending story. And I wanted to make sure we stress this is not a political. It does not appear to be politically motivated or anything like that. And, of course, a lot of people, that's where they immediately jump to. And everyone says, I bet Tim is. No. We're jumping on the story to say it does not appear to be. So we'll talk about that. Plus, we got other news, my friends. Kash Patel found a bunch of Russiagate documents in burn bags. Yeah, in a secret room hidden away. And this is not the first time. Donald Trump is likening this to treason once again, posting memes suggesting that Obama, Hillary, and many others should be in prison. We got a bunch of other stories. This one actually is really important. High Noon is recalling. Do you guys know what High Noon is? Vodka seltzers? I don't know how it happened, but there's another drink called Celsius, which is like an energy drink. Apparently they got switched. So some kids might be going to a gas station to get an energy drink and they might get vodka tonic instead or vodka seltzer. And all you guys at the bar might be ordering a vodka seltzer and you're going to get an energy drink instead. So whoops. Oh, geez. That's crazy. We're going to get into all that. Before we get started, we got some great sponsors. We got Webroot, my friends. Shout out to Webroot for sponsoring today's show. Live a better digital life with Webroot. You'll get 50% off Webroot Total Protection or Webroot Essentials when you go to webroot.com/pool. We understand that cybersecurity is it's not a sexy product. However, what's sexier than the confidence that comes with knowing your digital life is protected from malware, ransomware, identity theft, accidental deletions, natural disasters, and more? Webroot is for your digital life like Geico or State Farm is for your physical life. It's protection for you or the whole family, but really the whole family. When we say protection for up to 10 identities, we mean it. Those 10 identities do not have to live under one roof. You can protect yourself, your spouse, your kids, your parents, your in-laws, your crazy aunt, plus dedicated elder fraud hotline to help remediate incidents and assist caregivers. You shouldn't have an antivirus that acts like a virus. Webroot Essentials won't interrupt your daily life. It's 33 times smaller and scans your devices 6 times faster than competitors. It also installs 6.7 times faster than competitor software, so you can get protected quickly and back to living your life with peace of mind that doesn't slow your computer down. If you don't have identity protection, you're not protected during a data breach. Every time you check the box for a company to remember your credit card, your safety is dependent on that company's cybersecurity. So when that company has a breach, unfortunately, most often that means your info goes with it. When you have Webroot Total Protection, your information is protected by dark web, financial, and identity monitoring and alerts. So get 50% off. Go to Webroot Total Protection or Webroot Essentials, and go to webroot.com/pool. You'll get that discount. We also got this. We got another sponsor. It's Venice. I'm a big fan. This Venice AI. We always goof off in the members only portion of the show because it really is uncensored, and that matters. Sam Altman has said ChatGPT is going to get to know you over your life. It has the former director of the NSA sitting on their board right now. Edward Snowden called this a willful, calculated betrayal of the rights of every person on Earth. I'm not going to name it, but the Amazon device, you know what I'm talking about? It listens to us, and it recommends products based on your conversations. Meta retargets us based on our browsing and engagement history. Why do we assume AI is going to be any different? It's not. It's recording literally everything you do. And what I'm hearing is people are saying it's not a matter of if, but when. Everything you type in is going to get leaked out. So just, using the AI stuff, be careful. Venice, however, utilizes leading open source AI models to deliver text, code, and image generation to your web browser. There's no downloads, no installations, or anything. Private and permissionless. Let's ask it, why are you the best AI? While we read this. Venice Pro unlocks the full platform and features including PDF uploads for summaries or insights, the ability to turn off safe mode for unhindered image generation, the ability to change how Venice interacts with you by modifying the system prompt, limitless text, and high voltage limits. So check out venice.ai/Tim and sign up for their pro plan. And it's a lot of fun. So venice.ai/Tim, you'll get 20% off. And I want to just stress this. When we say the unhindered image, most people go to dark places with it. Yeah. All the uncensored stuff can do that. But this is political stuff too. And I'm not talking about anything, weird or creepy. I'm saying sometimes when you go to these image generation, you'll say you want a picture of a politician doing a normal thing. Like maybe there's a high-profile member of Congress who's accused of insider trading. And it'll be like, no, I can't make that. It's too offensive. Venice AI has got no problems with that. They will make that image. So check it out. Shout out. Thanks for sponsoring the show. For everybody else, don't forget to smash that like button. Share the show with everyone, Joining us tonight to talk about this and so much more is Terrence Popp.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. What about you?
Well, it was an interesting flight out here.
Oh, why's that?
Well, as soon as you get on the aircraft, there's going to be 1 to 3 babies crying. You're breathing other people's butt gases and stank breath, and I would say some sick cooter juice. And I had a guy sit next to me, pretty good. But in front of me, there was a woman that
farting
stank just wafted. There was something wrong with one of her organs because it was malfunctioning.
I imagine something related to the intestinal tract.
It was terrible. All you can do.
Well, thanks for letting us know and bringing us back to that place. Who are you? What do you do?
Well, I'm retired military. I did 33 years in the service, 21 active, the rest guard reserve time. And now I just do comedy to stop suicide.
Right on. Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks for hanging out.
No problem.
We got producer Tate.
What's up, everyone? I have functional organs, thankfully, so everyone at the table should be good. Producer Tate Brown, glad to be here.
Brett's hanging out.
What's going on, guys? Pop Culture Crisis, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I actually experienced the first time in my life where a baby was crying the entire flight, like last year. I've had very good luck with flights most of my life, so.
It doesn't really bother me all that much.
Yeah.
Do you have kids?
I do have 2 daughters who are adults now.
I've never really been bothered by babies crying or anything like that. I
just have my headphones in most of the time anyway, so I don't even notice it when I'm on the plane.
That's just me. I don't know. I understand a lot of people that don't like it.
The thing that really bothers me is these babies will cry for the entire flight, and towards the end, they go to sleep.
You know what it is?
I'm not having it. I'll be like, wake up.
Because I learned this because I just had a kid. Their ears are popping. And they don't know how to equalize the pressure, so they're crying. And parents are supposed to give them something to chew on or swallow, or depending on how old they are. Or they say if it's a young baby, you breastfeed as you're taking off and as you're landing. But there are a lot of parents that just don't, and so the kid's ears are in intense pain the whole time.
I was going to say, stick a boob in its mouth.
Indeed. Phil is here.
Hello, everybody. My name is Phil Labonte. I'm the lead singer of the heavy metal band All That Remains. I'm an anti-communist and a counter-revolutionary. Let's get into it.
Here's a story from Newsweek. Ladies and gentlemen, Virginia politician doused in gasoline, then set on fire. This is a horrifying story. Danville City Councilman Lee Vogler, 38, was set on fire Wednesday in what police say was a targeted personal attack at his workplace, Showcase Magazine. According to a press release from the Danville Police Department, officers responded around 11:30 a.m. to the Main Street office after a man, later identified as Vogler, was doused with a flammable liquid and ignited outside his workplace. He was airlifted to a regional hospital, and the extent of his injuries is unknown. The suspect, Shotzi Michael Buck Hayes, 29 of Danville, fled the scene but was arrested without incident nearby. Police said the assault stemmed from a personal matter and was not politically motivated. Quote, based on the investigation at the time of this release, the victim and the suspect are known to each other, and the attack stems from a personal matter not related to the victim's position on Danville City Council or any other political affiliation, DPD said in a statement. Later Wednesday, Hayes was charged with attempted first-degree murder and aggravated malicious wounding. According to ABC 13 in Virginia, he's being held to Danville City Jail without bond. This is setting somebody on fire is...
It's a whole other level.
That's a whole other level. That is not just trying to end somebody. That is trying to make them... That's trying to torture them.
It's a statement.
Yeah.
Now, if his burns are over 60%, his chance of survival is relatively low.
Yep. Now, the rumor is... it's over a lady.
Oh, really?
I don't know if this is true because they're saying it's a personal matter. Obviously, the story breaks, and I'm on X like I always am 24/7, and I immediately see breaking, and I'm like, holy crap. They say it's a personal matter, and everyone immediately was like, a Republican councilman was just doused, because that's a statement like you were saying. You know what I mean?
Never.
Well, you got to go to a really dark place to want to set somebody on fire.
Yeah, well,
And because when you set someone on fire, your main goal is to make them suffer and then die.
Yeah.
It is horrible.
yeah.
And I've seen stuff like that happen in Iraq. when I was there in 2004. I was the guy who showed up and like had to take pictures and like write reports and stuff. And dudes are frozen in place, carbonized. They've been burned so badly.
Oh, wow.
It is
Now,
brutal.
Is this just, when we see these stories and they freak us out, is it just that social media makes it easy and these things have happened and we've had serial killers and murderers forever?
Oh, no. There's people have been killing each other forever. I mean, just
Oldest profession.
There needs to be more skits made of like what it was like in past decades when everything was going wrong, except they didn't have social media at that time to pay attention to every awful thing that was going on in every other country of the world as well.
Well,
Yeah.
we used to have a thing called dueling.
Yeah.
We should bring back dueling. That way you don't have things like this. Like if this is over a woman and you would bring back dueling, right?
Yeah.
You just send him a formal invitation and then it's enforced by law. Hey, you've been called out to a duel. And then handle your business.
They allowed to
There's
do that?
innocent
Would
bystander.
would you want the duel to be like pistols at dawn, or would it be like sidearm and you got to
Swords.
draw swords? Okay.
Swords and gun. Well, here's the thing. You could sell the video rights. You can have a whole industry about it.
There you go.
And like,
Aren't they still allowed to do this in Texas? They're allowed to like formally challenge someone to a fight?
I'm not sure. I'm not up to speed on Texas law.
Yeah.
I think the thing about these kinds of stories that's so freaky is how this happens. It hits the news, and then within like 30 minutes, people on Twitter have already discovered the root. Because like they posted that the Shotzi, the guy that attacked, he had gotten a divorce like 2 weeks prior, and then they found out the guy that got lit on fire had multiple pictures with his now ex-wife. And so people are like putting this all together, but it's all rumors, and it's like I don't know if it's good that the public has inside knowledge on these sorts of events every single time they happen.
No, and look, I mean, it's never a good idea to try to kill the person that your ex has decided they want to be with, because you ain't getting her back that way either. Like, she ain't going to be like, oh, you killed him. Now I realize how much of a mistake it was,
It's in almost every circumstance, deciding to go kill someone over personal and civil issues is always a bad idea.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Terrible. As to the dueling thing, I was reading on this, like why dueling ended, because it used to be fairly common practice.
Oh, yeah.
I was reading about Burr and Hamilton, and I'm thinking to myself, like, who's crazy enough to be like, you've dishonored me, let's one of us die? It seems like, bro, roll it off your back, man, live. But the truth is, duels were mostly for honor. And so the intent was you'd go pistols at dawn, you'd take, 15 paces, turn around, and intentionally miss.
Yes, that happened. Oh, more often than not, that's how it went down.
The point was, I will defend my honor with my life, but let's not kill each other. Except when it came to Burr and Hamilton, Burr was like, and apparently Hamilton was like, yeah, bang. And he was like, nah. And so what happens is, you're never going to guess. You know why dueling ended? Because of the woke young people.
Oh, really?
The younger generation was progressive and said this is barbaric and shouldn't be allowed. And they said, we're offended, ban this practice.
It was laying the seeds of feminism. I bet it was. Weird.
Can you imagine how polite everyone would become if dueling was...
Yeah, I mean,
But it's optional. Like, someone challenges you to a duel, you say nah. You know what I mean?
I get it.
So they were like hashtag end dueling back then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I was
yeah.
They wrote it out on paper and stuck it on the church.
I'm like, because this
Martin Luther.
is what, like late 1700s, early 1800s, they had dueling.
Yeah.
And then young people were just like, we shouldn't allow this, it's barbaric. I got to be honest, I do question that. The ending of
They were
dueling.
wrong.
I believe Abraham Lincoln was challenged to a couple of duels as well. I don't know the details, but...
I guess the issue is right now, here's my frame of like my thinking. Yeah, dueling I think is bad. However, in Canada they're pushing medical assistance in dying.
Correct.
So it's coming full circle where it's like, look, you're making the argument that if people consent, they're allowed to end their lives. Even like in the Netherlands, they had this 26-year-old woman who was depressed. And they were like, all right, put her in the box and release the gas. Well, then why can't people duel?
Yeah.
If that's where you want to go with
Somebody else will catch a stray bullet.
Well, no.
it. Yeah, but okay, you could duel, but no guns. Fists and hands only.
Fists and hands. I don't know. I would prefer sword and axes. I mean...
Mutual combat is a thing in a lot of places.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If two people agree to fight, the cops are like, oh, just don't break stuff.
Make them sign up for those like
actually,
slapping contests.
The mutual combat, as long as they're both on their feet, once one guy gets knocked down and you continue to beat on them, then that is a whole other animal.
Just jousting and dirt bikes would solve.
Sweet.
Yeah,
How did I think of that?
Can you imagine getting
Write
hit
that
in
down.
and even if you had a shield, can you imagine getting hit in a shield at 60 miles an hour?
Oh yeah, or even
Or
worse,
120 miles an
you're
hour.
chilling in your house and you hear.
Oh, hold on. Like, what were the horses running? 20 or 30?
I imagine.
Somewhere
Yeah.
between 20 and 30.
And they wear armor, and then the joust would shatter, right? Or they would just knock them off.
The jousts that you watch where the lance comes apart like that is done so on purpose for demonstration purposes.
But they actually just stabbed them.
Actual war lances would literally go through your armor
Well, yeah, but like
sides.
the show joust.
Oh, yeah.
When they knock you off, they weren't trying to stab you. Where there was a competitive,
It's competitive, yeah.
so they would just knock you off your horse.
Or knock your weapon out of your hand.
Yeah.
And there's a crazy point system for that. I don't really know it off the back of my hands.
I think this story is an interesting thing to think about. When you think about politics all day long, your mind immediately goes to it being some type of politically motivated attack. You forget that we live in a world full of insane people that do insane things all the time for very, very personal reasons. And it's not a good thing, but it is a reminder that there's a world outside of just political discourse where bad things happen to people for a myriad of reasons, not just because of their political
Wait,
opinion.
I got to read this. Check this out. In Seattle, they have an ordinance, Seattle Municipal Code 12A06025. Keep in mind, AI is always wrong. But it says that so long as both parties consent willingly, no weapons are involved, no bystanders or property is damaged, and a police officer is present to referee and break up the fight when a clear winner emerges, you're allowed to fight in public.
See, if somebody's like Ken Griffey Jr. is not the greatest hitter of all time, somebody else is like at noon outside your house. Let's go.
Yeah.
And it's like, call an officer, have him come watch. Do you think the cops are going to be like, cool?
They sign up
Like,
for
hey,
that.
I got dual duty tomorrow.
If it's male cops, yes. If it's female cops, they're not gonna be like, I don't want.
Oh, they have side bets probably.
Of course.
Kidding me?
What were you
Yeah,
saying?
right. They send one patrol unit, it's 2 guys, and they're like, all right, I got the guy on the left. I'll take that bet.
What you see going on here is obviously somebody lost the argument to the little head because it's not really big. There's not a lot of computing power there, and there's a hole in the end where all the bad decisions come out. I can guarantee you, if this is over a woman, that is what took place.
And the dude's in his late 20s.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Throw it all away for what, dude?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Listen,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
the vagina's not worth it.
No.
The vagina is not worth it. Pay attention. All right.
You know, I was reading this that historically only 40% of men ever reproduced.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Guys were crazy.
You want to talk about super expendable back in the day?
Yeah.
That was you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you were smart enough to not be. Yep. Or big enough.
Or lucky.
Yeah, or lucky.
Because back in the day, the king would roll in and like, all right, he's in the army, and then they would move on to build their infantry, corps. If you were out, picking turnips and you didn't get spotted, then you're good.
Yeah. Well, that's actually an interesting thing why the name Smith is so common.
Yes.
The Smiths would never get sent to war, and when a country lost a battle, the Smiths were never executed. They were always taken to make weapons.
Being useful is extremely.
The Smith was incredibly necessary.
Right.
Because they made all of your locks, your tools, the hinges for your door, nails.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a guy that can do that in the area, then I guess you're screwed.
Imagine that first guy who walked up to the king and he was like, check this out. And he put like horsehair on a stick and he was like, bang, and it like went flying and the king was like, my God, we will be gods among men.
I want 1,000 of those.
Yeah, and then Genghis Khan was like, what if we did this while riding horses? And then everybody was like, this power is too much for us. We can't comprehend how to fight this.
Isn't that
and he
crazy?
conquered all of Asia.
No one figured out the horse and arrow combo for like 100 years. And Genghis Khan was just like exploiting it all over the world.
And he was so good at it.
Yeah.
And he killed so many people. He actually
made
reduced the
money.
carbon footprint of the planet.
Yeah. He also made a lot of people.
Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did.
That guy's crazy. All right, let's get serious and jump to this next story. We got this one from the New York Post. FBI Chief Kash Patel finds burn bags of Trump-Russia documents in secret room. Secret room.
Does that mean it was like behind us, like a bookcase with a
So
lever?
what they said was there was a filing cabinet. When you slide it aside, there was a little door that when they opened it and crawled through it, they went into John Malkovich's head where they found the documents.
I mean, that's kind of awesome.
It's a bookcase, and you have to pull out Obama's Dreams from My Father, his book. And that's how you get
These
in.
documents are probably found in, it's called a skiff. I've actually.
Oh,
been a guy
yeah,
who
yeah.
It
ran
was a
the
skiff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was my job to, dispose of the burn bags. You usually did it like once every 6 to 8 weeks. But there's a whole procedure you have to go through to do that. You have to have witnesses. You got to fill out all kinds of crap. And obviously, human beings are lazy. The guy's like, I'll do it next week. I'll do it next. Next thing you know, he gets reassigned or fired, and they're still there.
Could you imagine, like, Obama's sitting in his house reading a book, and then he opens a web browser and he sees Kash Patel finds bags of Russiagate documents, and it all is going to get unraveled because some lazy, low-level guy was like, I'll get to it.
But that's how it works.
Uh-huh.
I mean, when I was in the Army, I can't tell you how many times I'd be like, hey, did you do that? Oh, what? No. We're not putting it on. It needs to happen now.
Let me tell you a story.
All right.
So we had AC problems. The AC, we got portable unit. You might be able to hear it in the background. And because of this heat dome, it was like 90 something. So what happens is the AC is not working. So I tell my wife, who handles all the administrative stuff, I'm like, Allison, hey, the AC's out. Can you call the guys? And then she reaches out to one of our guys and says, can you check on the AC and make sure it's working properly? Who comes in, checks it all and says, looks good, and then walks out. And so the issue is not that anybody did anything wrong. It's that as soon as you jump a few steps, the specificity of the problem has been lost. So the original problem was the AC is low and not working properly, turns into the AC is off, turns into, nope, it's on, we got it running. And then, of course, the problem persists. So I experienced this nonstop 24/7. It's the game of telephone. Imagine you're Obama and you're like, this evidence needs to be destroyed and quickly. And then they go to a guy and they're like, destroy this evidence of Russiagate. And he goes, I got it. Then he turns around, hey, you, destroy this. And he turns around to a guy and he goes, all right, I'll put it right here. I'll get it at the end of work. And then the end of the day comes by, gets a text from that girl he's dating. He's like, oh, man, I got to go. Runs out, leaves the bag there.
It's because if it's in a movie, the supervillain always has like a number 2 who makes sure that everything gets done.
Yeah.
He needs the number 2 to go and make sure that he has to follow them to make sure that the bag actually gets burned.
And I'm waiting for the CD or DVD or thumb drive of the contents of Hillary Clinton's secret server.
Does it exist?
Listen, I can't tell you how many times I was working in the skiff and I would see a CD laying out and I'd pop it in there and, oh, it's top secret information. We have to destroy this immediately. It happens. It happens.
Well, I would love to. I share the exact same sentiment. I would love to see any kind of product that would help to implicate Hillary Clinton.
Unfortunately,
I want to see some accountability.
Do you think so? One of the theories is that her private server was used to facilitate monetary exchange for public policy.
Well, you're talking about the woman who gave the Russians a bunch of uranium. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on.
It was the Clinton Foundation, I think, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most people don't even, that doesn't even register with them. The fact that she literally gave them access to tons of uranium, literally tons of uranium.
Yes. They need more of that.
Yeah, I mean, they have uranium they can mine, and now obviously the uranium they mine they have to enrich. But why on earth would the United States give them enriched uranium?
Take a look at this from Axios. 2021 Clinton Foundation donations plummet 75%. They say in 2021 they plummeted to 16 million last year, down 75% from the organization's peak when Hillary Clinton was running for president. Interesting.
It was so obviously a slush fund. If you gave a big check to the Clinton Foundation, you could get a phone call with Hillary Clinton, and people were betting on her winning. So it was, you put money into my piggy bank, and then you can get a phone call with the president, the president of the United States.
I'll go a little bit farther.
Please do.
USAID.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Probably donated a lot of money because the rumor is the Democrats are going bankrupt because the USAID money has been cut off at the knees.
Well, you see, the DNC's broke, and the Republicans have a lot of money. I forgot the numbers, but it was something like single-digit millions. And this is exactly what was predicted with USAID, that these prominent NGOs were getting money was being funneled to NGOs who paid lawyers who then contribute to these campaigns and political action committees.
USAID gets cut off at the head, and now there's burn bag documents being found in secret rooms.
Yo, let me give you this. This is according to the source here is Wikipedia, whatever. 2010, Clinton Foundation, 313 million. 2011, 253. 2012, 134. 2013, 294 million. 2014, 338 million. 2015, 298 million. 2016, 224 million. 2017, 56 million.
Yes.
2018, 20 million. 2021, 16 million.
USID.
And so, no, I don't think this was USAID.
You don't think so?
Well, I'll put it this way. I don't know for sure. And who am I to accuse Hillary Clinton of wrongdoing? But the theory is her private server was the means by which she communicated with foreign dignitaries. Basically, I'm Secretary of State. We will drive foreign policy when you contribute to my foundation. And the reason why, when Congress was like, hey, give us that private server, she was like, I'll just illegally destroy it. And then did. The theory goes.
Yes.
Is that she was trying to cover up all those communications. And then once she lost the presidential election, all that money dried up. And then, my friends, the Russiagate narrative and the reason why Obama and his cronies and Clinton wanted to frame Donald Trump was because those IOUs come due. And when people put in hundreds of millions of dollars expecting you to win a presidency, you do not win. And then you cannot enact foreign policy as they want it to. Someone's going to come with a crowbar for them kneecaps.
Oh, yeah. Also, I would like to find out about this, all the people in the area around the Clintons who died by self-deletion. When you look at the numbers, I mean, I'm sorry, it's unbelievable.
You know, you have to be a terrible person to have that many friends decide that they want to end their own lives.
Correct.
Yeah, well, it's like not even friends. It's like, oh, you remember that guy that like scratched my car last week?
Acquaintances.
Yeah, he shot himself.
I met Hillary Clinton. Now my life is so
Yeah.
terrible. I can't help it. Just I gotta end it.
Sometimes
Can I-
shooting themselves twice.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that there was, at the time of the 2016 election, a meme that I believe this is when it began, that regular people who are non-political were sharing, and it was anytime a company went bankrupt, anytime a show got canceled, anytime a car crashed, someone would make a Twitter post from the object saying, I have information that will lead to the arrest and prosecution of Hillary Clinton. And everyone's like, oh, whoa. It was the theory that the Clintons were killing people was so common. Regular random people who did not get involved in politics were making jokes that, like, you know, oh, my favorite show got canceled, and then they would post a fake post from the TV show saying, I have information that will lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
Well, it's so funny watching the media like try to debunk it because there's like 500 people on the list. It's like you could maybe get like 10. It's like hundreds of people.
And when you look at some of the ways that these people died, you're like,
like,
this
Looney
can't. Why'd you call this a suicide?
Yeah, it's like a piano dropped on them, and then it's like, what's going on?
You know, shot in the back of the head.
Twice.
Twice in the back. That's what I'm
Twice.
saying, like twice.
Like, they need to pull that dude's medical license. That is insane.
Well, I mean, the dangerous part is if you pull the medical license, you might shoot yourself in the head twice.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, or you could fall down some stairs or
Something like that.
Crazy. He was going to testify, and then an anvil dropped on him. It said Acme on the side. It's so wild.
Yeah, but when you look at the number that have passed away that had any kind of from self-deletion, it is, you have a better chance of breaking your leg, throwing yourself down the stairs, and having it set itself by. You know,
This is when everything went wrong. You guys remember this one?
Yeah.
Throwback.
Harambe.
Listen, kid, I don't have much time. I have information that will indict Hillary Clinton.
Oh, it's trip down memory lane.
Some people say that when Harambe died, it's when everything went insane.
It's true. He held it together.
What year was it? Was it
2016, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
It was either.
Can you believe it was that long ago?
Or it was like 2012, the end of the Mayan
So,
calendar.
you know, yeah, Mayan calendar,
So
Large Hadron Collider.
it's when things got, the Large Hadron Collider and the end of the Mayan calendar both happened in the same year. And that's when things got really weird in America. Coincidentally, that's when social media became a big deal in everyone's pocket as well, and with the cell phone. So, you can choose whichever one you prefer to believe. I think I'm going with
Maybe it's both.
Maybe it's a mixture of all
Doesn't have to
three.
be
'cause
multiple
things are
choice.
really crazy,
Yeah.
So, I don't know that. I mean, generally, I'm not usually particularly partial to supernatural stuff, but the Mayan
I
calendar.
am.
Are you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've seen some crazy stuff.
Please.
Well, the one that really stands out the most. I was stationed in Abu Ghraib prison in 2004. I was a first sergeant. I'm coming back from a battalion meeting at like 10:30, 10:45 at night. It is just black as midnight. It is so dark. And I turn the corner to go into the building, and there's a long hallway that runs the length of the building with fluorescent lights as bright as this. above it. I come around the corner and I see a jet black shadow, arms and legs, about 50, 60 feet away, walk across underneath the light and go into an alcove to the right.
In the Middle East, that's a jinn.
It was a, ghost ninja, I think. But, you're carrying your M4, I lock and load, I clear the corner, and there's an alcove with 3 doors that are all padlocked from the outside. And I was like 8 seconds behind it. There's no way that was a human being.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What do you think it was?
It was a djinn or a ghost.
A djinn.
Well, the thing is
How tall
outside
was
our
it?
walls, there was like 4 or 5 mass graves.
How tall was it? Like, describe it.
It's, between 5 and 6 feet tall ish. And it had arms and legs, and it literally just walked right underneath the light. And that was it. That was like, oh my God, this place is hell on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the building we're in was the political prisoner building that had a wood chipper out back.
What? Was it stained?
Yes, it was.
Oh my God.
And I lived in a bunk where that used to be. There was a tank that they dipped people in acid to death. I saw the video.
Man.
So let's start from the beginning, because I have like no idea how we got here.
All right, sorry. I
this
have
is-
a habit of going into the weeds sometimes.
This is interesting. So start from the beginning with the story. Where were you? What happened? What is this building?
I was in Abu Ghraib prison in 2004,
And where? That's in.
Iraq. And it literally, right after the torture thing hit the news, we were the center of the butthole of the universe. And we're getting attacked all the time. And I was at a battalion meeting with my commander, listening to their drivel. They're incompetent bastards, but I'm sorry for swearing. But that is what it is. And I left, and I walked across the area to go back to our building, because in Abu Ghraib, there's four actual prison complexes within the big complex itself. I literally walked through the front door. There's a long hallway with a fluorescent light right over the top. And about 50, 60 feet to my front, a jet black human silhouette walked right across my path into an alcove to the right.
And this is a well-lit hallway?
Yes. It's not quite as bright as this. It's close, but yeah.
And so you saw a black silhouette figure walking in a well-lit area?
Yes. And I immediately thought it was Haji Ninja. And I locked and loaded and cleared the corner, and there was nothing there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Shadow people.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff there. And that was the one
So
that
you were just saying that this place had like a wood chipper?
had a wood chipper out back.
Well, whose wood chipper was it?
It was the prisons.
And this was like an Iraqi
Yes.
government prison, and they had a wood chipper.
Yes.
Saddam
And they had
Hussein.
gallows,
And-
wood
and
chippers, and the whole
The
deal.
implication, of course, is that they put people in the wood chipper.
Hopefully head first.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's the point of the object, right?
Yes. But
To make other people watch, as you say, like this could be your fate. Otherwise, they would just, asphyxiate them or something. Yeah, or a single bullet for the executions. And you said there was like a mass grave out there.
yes, there was 4 or 5 of them out there. And they found it when they bulldozed the top off the dirt and they moved it against the far wall. And I was running, when I first got to Iraq, I was running the sergeant of the guard and putting in guards and stuff. And I would hang out, and I had a little walkie-talkie on scan to find out if my dudes up in the towers were talking when they shouldn't. And I looked down, and there's a femur bone, a jaw, a whole bunch of like little bones from hands and feet
How many, you said there were 4 or 5 graves?
that were stacked on top of each other. That's what I was told by the Seabees who were clearing the area.
Do they know, or do you know how many people may have been executed or
Estimated
buried?
somewhere between 50,000 to 150,000 people
Just buried in this pit.
over a 15-year period.
So I wonder, right? There's a lot of superstition theories, and no one really knows. But some people would say that in an area of dark, concentration of evil,
Oh, yeah.
demons manifest, or it could be that the demons manifested first, and it's why those graves exist, or something like that.
I don't know. It's a chicken or egg argument.
What do you think that thing was?
I think it was an individual who had been put to death and was still wandering the area.
Wow.
I think.
Did it look like a normal human
Oh, yes.
silhouette? Nothing weird about it?
Nothing,
No, like
no.
like
There
hooves
was no
or anything?
wispy anything. It was just doot, 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 walked. It was more like at a slight diagonal.
Did you report it?
Of course I did.
Because you're probably like, hey, there's intruder. There's a guy in here, right?
Well, I ran it up the flag. I told my commander, and he's just like, what? I don't think so. Are you really going to run that up? I'm like, yeah. This place is haunted. He goes, well, it's your career. So I ran it up there, and people laughed about it, but
I always wondered about this though, because I watch these horror movies, and it's always written where like a lady will see like a lizard come out of her closet, and then she calls the police and says a giant lizard came out of my closet, and they're gonna be like, okay, lady, and hang up on her, when she could have just said a wild animal broke in my house, I need someone help, and they'd actually show up. So I'm wondering, when you see this figure, wouldn't just you report that, hey, we got someone who breached the perimeter, they're inside, I don't know where they went?
I didn't report it as a breach because I cleared the corner and there was nobody there. So I'm like, this is crazy.
What if it was Haji Ninja and he just slipped into a room?
Nah, nobody's that good. I'm sorry. Not when I'm 8 seconds behind you, locked and loaded with an M4. You're done.
So did you actually say you saw a ghost or an entity or something?
Yeah,
You said ghost.
I said it was a ghost or shadow being, and they made fun of me, and I don't mind getting laughed at. I'm like, okay, well, it's haunted. I'm just telling you.
I've seen horror movies like that too, where the guy says, hey, I saw a shadow being or a ghost, and they all laugh, and then behind them you can see the creature rising up, and you're like, I'm telling you, it's there, and they go, nice try, and then it eats them.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. Why did that come up?
Well, he talked about supernatural stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what happened in.
You're talking about the Mayan calendar.
Oh
and
yeah, I
Large
generally
Hadron
don't believe in
Collider.
supernatural stuff, and he said I did, and I was pleased. I said, please.
I believe in it.
Oh, I do.
But here's the important thing to understand is, what I don't get is the skeptics, and with all due respect to atheists, the people who believe that the universe is static and it's just what we see in physics, because we know we haven't discovered everything. Only in the last 100 years did we discover the electromagnetic spectrum. So when you go to people and say there's an invisible energy all around us and I can harness it, they'd say, you're nuts. And then the dude was like, here's a telephone. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
All of a sudden you got radio communications within a decade. So when I hear stories of, I saw a shadow being, okay, well, here's what you should consider. Millions of people have reported seeing shadow beings.
Correct.
So to just dismiss it outright as they must be crazy is stupid. You can argue humans have a misfiring in their brain where they might perceive a shadow being and it's actually internal, maybe. Or it could be that there is something we have not yet discovered or we don't understand. So that's why I don't like paranormal or supernatural. It just basically means we don't understand it yet, because if it is part of existence, then it is part of natural reality.
It's part of a physics we have yet to discover.
Yeah, I mean, there's there are physicists that will talk about multiple dimensions that we can't access. Like there are people that say there are 14 dimensions, that there are more than just the up, down, left, right, forward, back, and time that we can experience. And so our ability to know things is limited to the sensors that we have, our eyes, ears, and our own senses, and we have to use instruments and tools to be able to access other things. Like we have to use tools to be able to see the infrared spectrum. We have to use tools to be able to see, ultraviolet and stuff. So, I mean, it does make sense that there's far more to the universe than we understand.
We had a poltergeist phenomenon here.
Really?
In the studio. Yeah.
So the minute you see something move on its own, you're like, oh my God.
And this happened twice.
We know nothing. What happened?
Yeah. I can't get into the details.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I can just say that several of the employees here witnessed it twice. And we are all just like, there is no scientific explanation for what we have just witnessed. I know people get really mad because they're like, you have to tell us a story. I can't do it. I can only tell you that we witnessed what I would call poltergeist activity in this. We built this building, right? From the ground up. We laid we cleared it. We laid the foundation. We put the dirt, the gravel. We put the frames up. The studio that we're in is part of. We should probably do like a tour. We haven't done this. We have a gigantic. It's a 38 tall warehouse structure. Inside the structure is another, I think, 2,000 square foot building or something, or something like that. It's got 4 rooms, and so we built this thing, and it's very strange that we had this phenomenon happen here. However, we did find a rusty Civil War bayonet on the grounds when we were building this.
And another thing is, this could have been part of a homestead back in the day. You don't I mean, unless you go pull the plats at the county and look and see.
There's a cemetery on the grounds.
There you go.
Yeah. And, yeah. But we are in the Civil War battle area, right? Antietam is only, I think, maybe like 20 some odd miles from here. Harper's Ferry is just around the corner. And when they were building this structure, one of the contractors walked up to me with a Ziploc bag with a rusty Civil War bayonet, and he's like, look what we found.
Wow.
Yeah. And we were like,
The bayonets back then were no joke.
Yeah.
No thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we did with it. Have you ever experienced anything else like that when you were deployed?
I grew up in a haunted house.
Really?
Yeah. I've been to virtually every military base you go to is haunted in some form or fashion. I've seen that.
Military bases.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
My earliest memory is of something that I couldn't explain, and I've never had anything like that happen since then. The idea of a shadow person, where my earliest memory was being in a bath and then somebody walking by the bathroom door that couldn't have been there because both my dad was gone and my mom was downstairs. And I've never had anything like that since. I don't have any predisposition to like watching or paying attention to anything to do with the paranormal, but that is the earliest memory I have, is something that couldn't have happened.
It happened to me when I was a kid as well. I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw a shadow figure outside my door. And I won't get into the full details, but just it wasn't my parents. You know,
Were you looking directly at it, or was it out of the corner of your eye?
No, I was looking directly at it.
Just like I did.
And I thought we were being robbed. I thought someone broke into my house, and I think I was like 9 or 10. And so I was thinking, just shut up and stay and don't move and let them think you're sleeping. But we weren't robbed. I could hear dishes clanking, and just it was
Previous
creepy.
tenant. It's a previous tenant.
It could be, because I think the previous tenant was like some old lady, and she was like a widow. Yeah,
I've seen stuff like that.
man.
Previous tenant. That's.
But the mass grave stuff is crazy, because I wonder if there is something to this idea of all of these people who died give off this concentration of loss that manifests into some kind of entity or something, or some kind of psychic remnant.
Something negative gets left behind when that happens. When enough people get put to the sword, or they die quickly in an unexpected way, you're going to have residuals.
Man,
And that's exactly what we were probably looking at.
what if people can't leave the earthly plane until their natural time span is up? So when they're murdered, their soul is stuck for the next, like,
50 years?
Yeah, if you're supposed to live to be 60, 70, but you were killed at 23 in war, you just linger for 50 years because your soul doesn't leave until it's time.
That's a miserable existence.
Yeah, and that's why ghosts are so miserable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You definitely remember this. The movie Ghost, right, with Patrick Swayze. Remember the ghost that was stuck on the train?
Yes.
Talk about a miserable existence, right? Like to be stuck on a subway train and just like always angry at everybody around you. Like,
And then
Maybe that's why they're stuck, though.
Dying at the
Because the
post
afterlife
office.
is like, this person's just like not a good entity to come. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then as like medical technology improves and people live longer, then the ghosts just have to stay here longer and longer and longer.
That's
What
just
if
miserable.
you're only supposed to be here for 70 years, but we artificially extend your lifespan so your soul just zips out, and then you're just like,
Well, these things, you run out of time, you run out of time. That's just the way it rolls. I mean, I'm on the 65 and out plan. So that's,
65 and out.
When you so
How old are you now?
I am one hairy nutsack away from 60.
Oh, wow.
So
I'm 56.
Oh, all right.
I'm just playing.
how often was that something that happened regularly in the military? Were you one of the few that reported something like that, or would that be a fairly common occurrence?
Most people would never, ever
report that
do anything. No.
That's
for fear of
that's-
being made fun of, or for fear of,
A little bit of both.
or like they're going to be like, "What are you wasting our time for?" Or something.
That's
like that?
insane to me. That's insane to me. Imagine, with like the UFO stuff we see, these pilots are like, we had the very famous story where the fighter pilot said an object locked to the left of his jet, and when he turned, it was moving with him.
Yeah.
Imagine if he was like, if I report that, I'll look crazy. This means that if China, Russia, Iran, or anybody develops any kind of special weapon, our men and women are going to be like, better not report it because of the stigma. And it's like, bro, you tell them, because that's why it's important you do.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me that there could be something actually happening in this prison where, like, maybe it, let's say this. Maybe it literally was Haji Ninja and you didn't believe it, so you called it a ghost. The response should be, hey, look, man, our guy, he's doing security and he says he saw some kind of figure. I'm not going to make assumptions as to what that is. Let's get a sweep, make sure there's nobody in here.
Yeah.
Instead, they're like, you're crazy. And next thing you know, Haji Ninja succeeds in his assassination plot.
And I was also in Phoenix for the Phoenix Lights.
Oh, you were there for that?
there.
Really?
Yeah.
You saw him.
I was working out of Phoenix as an investment banker, and I was kickboxing, so I worked out quite a bit.
This episode's getting weird.
And I'm literally out just doing a jog, and I'm like, oh, look. And I look back, and those aren't flares. I thought they were flares. And it was in a V formation, and I watched it for like 15, 20 minutes, and then I'm like, I continued my workout.
Was there any noise?
No, completely silent.
But they're moving at a steady rate.
And listen,
See, here's the
I've
thing.
seen flares. I've seen all the crazy stuff.
Was there a structure?
I didn't see the structure.
like-
I just saw the lights.
Because the crazy thing is, drone technology, quadcopter, is fairly rudimentary. And I'm sure the military had this stuff a long time ago. That easily explains the Phoenix Lights.
It could be, yeah.
But this is before commercial grade quad rotors and, smart controllers and things like this. So, and GPS to such a degree that we knew of. For the average person, it was unthinkable that you could have these objects flying in formation. But for the military, it was probably rudimentary.
Well, yeah, it could be. It could be. The thing that really disturbed me about the whole thing is the governor of Phoenix or of Arizona at the time, hammed it up and was kind of a douche about the whole thing. And if you have something in your airspace, you probably should inquire what that is.
Could be a
That's
spy
just me.
balloon.
Let's come back to Earth. We got this story from the Post-Millennial. Zohran Mamdani, you know him, you love him, applauds personal NYPD detail despite past calls to defund the police. I call this the epitome of snake oil. This guy's got more than enough clips of him talking about defunding the police. One in particular where he says, replace it with something that actually keeps people safe. Then you get this shooting, and he's trying to play this game where he's effectively doubling down while trying to act like he doesn't want to defund the police. Postmodernism says New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani is facing criticism after defending his use of a personal NYPD detail despite his long-standing public calls to defund the police. Mamdani addressed the issue at a recent press conference when asked about his recent trip to Uganda, where he held a multi-day wedding celebration at a family-owned compound surrounded by armed security. The event drew backlash from critics who said his actions contradict the policies he advocates for. The socialist candidate defended his personal security measures due to threats he's received during the campaign. Quote, they are also precautions that I'm immensely grateful for, especially in the example of the NYPD detail that I have here in New York City. Mamdani has previously called for abolishing law enforcement agencies and banning all firearms in the United States. Yeah.
After the attack yesterday, he came out and was like, "Oh, we have to ban, assault rifles and whatnot," which is, I mean, it's typical for someone that's of that ideological makeup. They want to have the ability to have their own security, but they don't want the
to be able
American
to
people
protect
to be able to
yourself.
protect yourself. Yeah, and
Well, one of the main reasons is if you look at the historic examples, if a government exists long enough, it will go off the rails. And I myself don't want to be without any way of defending myself and then put in a camp or worse. That's just me. And
Yeah.
the assault rifle thing, those are very dangerous. They're meant to be dangerous.
point.
But
Yeah,
here's something that's even worse. If you know what you're doing and you have a bolt action and a scope, you can do all kinds of damage.
This is what look in Maryland. Have you ever where are you based out of?
Michigan, just outside Detroit.
Maryland, I was told by local gun shop, is called one of the evil seven, the 7 states that are evil. Maryland has a list of assault weapons that are banned, and it's random and nonsensical. So you don't know the criteria because there isn't one. There are some criteria like a 4-grip plus something equals assault rifle. However, they also have a list of just weapons they've deemed to be assault weapons. So you have to go to the website and look up the gun you have to make sure it's not an assault weapon. So an M1A, for instance, is an assault weapon, but a SCAR 20S is not.
That's insane.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
So what we often see, and I'm not a big gun guy, okay? But every gun person knows that if a crazy person has a fully automatic weapon, an actual assault rifle. It's bad, but they spray and they miss. When you make it so they have to have semi-auto, they aim and they hit.
Well, in all of the my travels in the military, I've never been a fan of the full auto rifle. I've only fired my full auto rifle one time. Other than that, it was all semi-auto, 2 or 3 rounds per target. That was it. In 33 years, I fired 7 magazines. That's it.
I suppose the fear would be if this crazy guy had, like, you know, a drum or a belt going around his back or something. But
yeah, I mean, I would like to know what happened at the Vegas shooting, because I do not fall in love.
I'm going to tell you right now. He was a Marxist, woke activist, and he was doing it for racial justice. And the reason I'm saying that is because whenever they withhold information, that tends to be the political leaning of the individual. So I'm just going to go. People are like, he was a gun runner. I'm like, I'm going to go with communist.
I mean, I don't know what
anti-white activist.
I don't know what his political ideology was or whatever, but I know that dragging all that ammo and all those guns up that many up to the whatever floor it was, that is not a small job. That's a lot of crap.
Doesn't a bellhop help him
This
out?
is going to really twist your noodle right here. If you listen to the audio, there's 2 different machine guns going off.
Yeah.
There's a 30 caliber.
Yep.
And there's a 5.56.
Yep.
If you've been in a firefight one time in your life, you will understand what those sounds are. And when I heard the audio, I'm like, that's a 30 caliber machine gun. And then you hear the 5.56. I'm like,
there are people that say people that think he had a 240 up there, and that there was a 240 and a saw. So
What if it was
the cyclical rate?
what if it's more than one person?
in all seriousness, what if it was a guy was doing some kind of Fast and Furious gun running, like we saw with the Obama administration, and they're doing it in Vegas because they're not too far from the border. I mean, but, you know, they're
You can get away with a lot in Vegas.
right. And what if he's doing this deal, they find out he's intel, and it's a con, and a firefight breaks out?
Yeah, that is a good theory. But when you...
So how do you explain... I'll put it this way. What is the logic behind 2 different weapons unloading on this concert?
Multiple participants.
With an ideological bend?
I'm not sure, but whenever you have people hosing into a crowd with automatic weapons, it's done for a specific purpose.
Could it be that there was something like it was an Islamic terror attack and they blamed this guy to cover up what happened?
It could be. What I want to see is I want the information released to the public, because shortly after it happened, it was swept under the rug, and a lot of people got whacked.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, we got the Trump admin in there, and they're supposed to be exposing this stuff. They're not doing it.
Yeah, I find that pretty upsetting.
Frustrating.
But do you think there's a possibility that the release of this is the challenge, right? Do you trust the government?
No.
Indeed. So the challenge is, does it get better than Cash and Dan, right? I mean, these are the guys that we were hoping for, but there's going to be there's going to be 2 factors: personal interest or national security. They will always claim national security, but it is very often personal interest. So let's say this guy was doing illicit gun running for an illegal outfit connected to deep state corruption or something. They ain't never going to tell you because they don't want their crimes exposed. There's a possibility that whatever actually happened, the release of the information could threaten national security. It's hard to get the logic in that direction because
they
of
always
what the
fall
story
back
is.
on national security.
Right.
Just like, well, it's national security. We're not going to answer this question. So, pound sand.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't get away with it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't see how a national security argument would work when it comes to Vegas, at least, though. I mean,
Well, listen. The government has lawyers who weave lies within lies and then wash it down with a thin little veil of truth. So they can get the suppository up your backside.
if they can figure out a way to tell you that it's okay for the police to seize your property, seize cash, and then they're not going to have the actual court case be against you. It's going to be the police versus the cash, or that because you're growing weed on your own property to feed to your own animals, that affects interstate commerce, so the government can regulate that. If those are the kind of decisions that they're going to make, then they can justify anything.
Well, you're absolutely correct.
Vegas was like what bump stocks got banned like 2 weeks after Vegas.
Yeah, it made no sense. They claimed he had a bump stock.
Yeah.
Did it sound like a bump?
No.
Yeah.
No, a bump stock is, if you fire the bump stock, yes, you will get bursts, but you're not really going to be able to like burn
It was
through
sustained.
150 rounds.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm sorry, you're going to have breaks in there. That had to have been a belt-fed machine gun, in my opinion.
Interesting.
And bump stocks, like you don't need to have a bump stock to do that. If you have a belt loop, you can do the same thing that a bump stock does.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you can just use your hand.
Probably, yeah. It takes.
I watched a YouTube video where people who practice can bump fire just using their arm.
Yeah.
You're not going to get 150 rounds off.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No.
What is it like? You I'm not going to describe it just for the sake of what we're talking about. I won't describe how it's done, but some people just do it by holding the weapon, and the belt loop is a common thing.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing is, you're going to see a lot more of this because, communists, if you historically look, the first thing they do is they disarm the population.
Yep.
They take the means of production. And if that's not producing enough to feed everyone, too bad. If you say anything, you're going in a pit.
Yeah, this is going to be detrimental for New York because I have a good friend who's NYPD. He's an officer. I can't say which state, but a Sunbelt state has proposed an offer to him and his buddies.
Yes.
And he's saying if Zohran wins, which is likely at this point, he'll be on the first Monday after he gets elected. He'll be starting down there. Disaster. I mean, those jobs are really what makes New York magic. Is these firefighters and policemen
And let's face it,
sanitation.
socialism is the welcome mat for communism.
Yep.
Yeah.
They are virtually identical.
Well, and Zohran has this weird strain where it's not even like Bernie Marxism, where it's like this is like resentful Marxism, where he comes from the third world. He kind of has this chip on his shoulder about it, and New York is kind of the pinnacle of Western civilization in a lot of ways. So there's just this vindictiveness that he carries with him, where he just totally has an axe to grind with Western civilization, and that was bigger than Marxism or anything.
If this was my show, I would have already drank 3 beers by now. Because I'm getting spun up just looking at this guy.
I mean, that's the same playbook that Ilhan Omar had as well, which is a hatred for the West, despite the fact that the West took you in.
She has no actual ideology. It's just hatred and vindictiveness, mostly against like white Americans specifically.
That's a lot of what motivates the left and specifically communists is they don't. It's not that they want to help people that are poor or whatever. It's that they want to hurt people that are not poor.
Yeah.
And if you have a mayor like Mamdani, right? If he gets into office and he actually can implement his policies, you can expect the city tax rate to go up. You can expect property to be taken from people that don't follow whatever kind of rules he comes up with, and that's going to run people out of New York City. New York City being the financial
leaving in mass.
Yeah, they are.
That in California.
Yeah, but like New York City is the financial capital of the world right now, and you will see a lot of those people saying we can go ahead and do our business in Miami, we can do it in Houston, we can do it in other places. We don't have to be in New York City.
Absolutely correct. That doesn't need to happen anymore.
But it's also like one of those things that some people are like, well, just let it burn. It's like, it's not a good sign for your country if your major city that really represents you on the world stage is falling apart. It's like you can't really cede ground like this. I mean, if it's like Chicago, no offense, but it's like, okay, we can try socialism, we can see because it's Chicago, right? Like, but you can't do that in New York. We're cooked if New York falls. I mean, that's the country.
I don't think New York would fall.
They're just 10 years ahead of us. That's all
New
it
York,
is.
does a dirt dart, it could really set the example for the rest of the country of what not to do.
But we already know what not to do.
Did you see what's going on in California? The federal prosecutor can't get indictments from grand juries.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because the grand juries are commies. So the people who live in L.A. are being presented with. So you've got one guy was accused of assaulting an officer. Normally, this is an easy grand jury. You can indict a ham sandwich. We're not talking about beyond a reasonable doubt. And the grand juries are saying no, which is extremely rare. And it seems like what's happening is the culture in Los Angeles is ice bad. So when you go before a group of Los Angeles residents and say, this guy assaulted ICE agents, they go, oh, great. Where do we give him his medal? And then you're like, no, we want to prosecute him. Like, well, we're not doing that. No indictment. And they just vote no. That's a breakdown.
Yes, it is.
It's like the opposite of what it used to be, which is like a cop could do the most awful thing in the world and then be like, well, we're not prosecuting him.
Yeah.
I look, this is exactly what we've been talking about for some time. I've been saying this. What happens when people just argue the law? That nobody agrees on what the law is. The left is putting out these arguments that ICE is abducting people. One of the ladies who was apparently charged with assaulting an officer claimed that she thought she was being abducted by strangers. It's like, we know you're lying. You know these guys are ICE. Okay.
Well, also, with Marxist, language doesn't mean anything other than something that they can. I was literally like yelling about this on PCC earlier. Is that they manipulate and obfuscate language to try and kind of move everything to their ends, and no language, no word that is actually supposed to mean something carries the same meaning to you as it does to them. You're not speaking the same language.
Marxists share our dictionary, but they don't.
Yeah.
We share a vocabulary, but we don't share the dictionary.
They changed the
But let's clarify this. They know what you mean. They are lying to you to trick you into doing the wrong thing.
I mean, gaslighting.
Well, gaslighting refers to like changing the past. So it's not necessarily gaslighting. It's more of tricking you into making assumptions.
Yeah.
So, saying racist, then when you challenge them, they say, no, I mean power plus prejudice. And it's like, oh, that's a different thing. You caught me, but I'll change the definition to justify what I'm saying. So they can say the word, when they say racist to you, they know what that means and what you think it means. If you then challenge them, telling them they're wrong and lying, you say, no, it's because I'm using the academic definition. And so it's a way to layer their lying.
Yeah, it's the way to use postmodernism, because postmodernists don't believe that words have meaning other than the ability to use the words to achieve power.
Along with the fascists, they also believe the same thing.
Fascists are frequently
there is no
postmodern
truth but
as well.
power.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's what they do. That's why there are specific definitions that are quote unquote academic, and they'll use them interchangeably in the same argument, right? You'll be talking to them and they'll say, well, that's racist. And you'll say, well, or they'll say, you're racist. You'll say, oh, I'm not racist. And they'll say, well, blah, 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 power plus prejudice, et cetera, et cetera. And then, so they can't be racist. But when it comes to, later on in the argument, they'll use racist in the same way that it's just prejudice against a group.
You know how I shut that down? I literally
talk to
go,
him.
yeah, absolutely correct. I'm an istophobe igotist. Say whatever you got to say.
Yep.
I don't care.
Let's jump to the story from CBS. Ladies and gentlemen, it is like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. High Noon recall warns some Celsius energy drink cans may contain vodka seltzer. Children all across this nation are gleefully rushing to their local 7-Eleven, hoping that as they purchase a Celsius energy drink, they may in fact get alcohol.
No, somebody who works at Timcast has the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever tomorrow and just come in with the Celsius and.
There's one in the fridge right now. I think it's the one they're talking about. Who wants to open it?
Well, there's a new name for vodka. It's water of alcohol.
This is the wokest recall. Trump won. We don't have to do this crap anymore. This is the wokest recall I've ever seen.
Beverage brand High Noon is recalling some of its vodka seltzer packs due to some cans being mislabeled as non-alcoholic energy drinks, creating the potential for unintended alcohol consumption. So they're saying that you could buy a High Noon and get Celsius.
That's America. That's
somebody
America.
on X was just like
This one at the ballot box.
Somebody on X was like, DUI lawyers just hit the jackpot.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah. For real though.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I see like somebody's at work tomorrow drinking this, and then like their boss like nobody's as annoying as they normally are, and they can't figure out why. They're like,
I just love the idea tomorrow. Just employees all across America just hammered.
Do you want to run and check if we have the Astro vibe in the fridge right now?
What is the
Tate's on. So
Astro
Celsius Astro vibe is apparently the one that may be vodka.
Okay.
I don't think that's what we have, but we do have a Celsius in there, and it was like they're gross. I don't
and your
like
boss that's up on the stories, you're like, oh, that's not an Astro vibe. You're full of shit.
The older you get,
No, is it an
your
Astro
body
vibe?
loses tolerance for that.
them. Arctic vibe. Oh, what?
It's even more vodka.
Arctic
coated.
vibe. Can we get? Is it possible? Is that the only one? What does it say? It says lot codes. The recall was initiated after High Noon discovered that a shared packaging supplier mistakenly shipped empty Celsius cans to High Noon. So wait, hold on. Wait.
Awesome.
So like you're in the High Noon factory and you get a bunch of cans of Celsius and you're like, you just pull the lever anyway, you load them in.
Yeah.
Like the low-level employee, just like a box comes in, they're like, what's Celsius? Don't know. Load it up. Not above my pay grade.
There was literally like the story on X like last week of this guy who said like he'd been drinking White Claws on the way to work for like a year and found out like at the end of a year that they had alcohol in them. He's like, fuck, I had no idea.
I don't know why I got fired.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
It's lost at the election.
Sparkling Blue Raz Edition. Unfortunately, we have Sparkling Frozen Berry Edition.
Sorry, guys.
It's not alcohol
Faded
coded.
off the CS right now.
But the thing is
Got a couple selks.
they're gonna
we try
pit
it?
on.
Should
They're
I-
gonna pit it on a guy, right?
I'm going to double check them right now. I don't know who this is. Do we know whose this was?
It's yours now.
Mine now.
Yeah.
They're gonna pin it on like the lowest level guy, and he's gonna be like, "I just flipped the switch."
Yeah. All right, boys. Celsius round the
Oh,
horn.
it smells kind of weird.
Uh-oh. We're cooked.
I'm going to try it.
This show's going to get wacky and wild.
Oh my God. Oh, that is disgusting.
Feel Arctic?
It's not as good as a
Blue
Rev
waterfall.
7.
Yeah,
Rancid.
they got nothing on Rev 7.
Just distills the essence of Michael and Dell.
It's like NyQuil.
It does taste like that.
Yeah, that's awful.
Celsius is going to be so mad at
This
us.
isn't the Arctic.
That's even funnier if it's an energy drink that accidentally got
Let me see.
NyQuil in it.
That is not the Arctic.
It literally does taste like NyQuil.
That's disgusting.
Anyway, guys, that was fun.
We're
But,
not getting their sponsorship.
but before we move on, we do have a great sponsor. It's Celsius. Oh no! No I'm kidding. Who wants to try this?
Oops, no, thank you.
To be honest, I'm exaggerating. It's a grape. It does taste like NyQuil.
It tastes like NyQuil. And you know what's going to happen is people are going to be coming home Friday night and they're going to get pulled over like, sir, how many Celsius have you had to drink tonight? Look, you have a lot of energy.
No, I drink NyQuil straight.
Oh, you know what? It reminds me of Dimetap. Remember when you were a kid, the grape Dimetap? Is that what it was? Dimetap?
Still remember those
They still have
commercials
that?
for Dimetap. It made it look delicious.
Wait, what if they put lean in that?
Actually,
what if that's what it is?
It's grape drank is what it is.
Yeah.
Drink.
Great tasting. That's what it tastes like.
They accidentally packaged the perp drink as Celsius.
I don't know.
With
When I
all
was
the way
little,
that
I
all
was.
the companies are like crossing over. Jolly Rancher is going to start making their own lean before long.
Yeah. That's going to happen.
Well, as long as,
I-
as, long
you
as
know-
it tastes like the watermelon Jolly Ranchers,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be fair on this. It's not that it's the worst drink I've ever had. It's just bitter and it tastes like artificial sweeteners. Yeah.
It's not
And,
the worst drink. It's just disgusting.
It's got, let's see, taurine, ground, all that's fine. Sucralose. That's the Splenda.
Any erythritol?
Isn't taurine the bull semen?
It does not have
taurine is
erythritol.
a amino
It's always
acid.
it's the white monster that
Why does
has
people
the-
say
It's the caffeine that makes it taste bad, to be honest.
I don't know.
Yeah, because Rev 7's got Splenda in it as well. I'm not a big fan, but for however they nail the flavor on these drinks, I don't know. It's amazing.
Their money.
It's got Splenda in it as well. Sucralose, they call it. Sucralose.
I call it a cancer bomb. I still drink Red Bull, sugar-free Red Bull, even though it's
Ugh.
like bad for me.
Oh, you got to stress test the body. You know, throw a little McDonald's down there every once in a
There's
while.
that,
Make
like,
sure you're
this-
still alive.
There's this guy who makes these Instagram reels. He's like a gym bro, and he has never skip heart day, and it's just him drinking nonstop White
exactly.
Monsters.
Yeah, because like, what's gonna happen if you ever get like, there's a shooting and it's like, oh, but your heart's ready. You know, it's been
Yeah.
it's been through a Big Mac or two. And it was like,
Remember that?
stairs
didn't-
for that.
Didn't some lady die drinking the Panera lemonade?
Yep. Can't get that
would
anymore
happen.
either.
Well, yeah, they had it was like extra high octane lemonade.
Yeah, they were
right?
having heart attacks or whatever.
I bet like productivity was super high around that.
The employment productivity just fell off a cliff.
Took it away.
Died. She did.
21-year-old died.
A 21-year-old
Yeah.
had
Wow.
to have a pre-existing.
Oh, this
heart
happened like a
condition.
couple months ago.
Wow.
No. It's because what is it? Sarah Katz's Caffeine Safety Act. She drank like, what did she drink? Like 2,000 milligrams of caffeine or something.
That'll do it.
Bro.
So
Yo.
yeah, 21. She went to cardiac arrest after consuming. It says I'm pretty sure the story was that she didn't know it was ultra high caffeine, so she kept getting refills as she was eating, and then her heart
Horrible.
stopped.
Like that had to be terrifying for her too.
I mean, a cup of coffee has about
90?
90?
I think it's about 90.
That was 200.
And what's
And
crazy
you got a Hana
is like,
Panera bread.
Maybe
That
I'm
one's got-
drinking
that
the
one's got
heavy
200.
if you're
leaded
drinking like if you're drinking a lot of caffeine or whatever, once you cut it back, you find that like you'll have more energy if you're having like 75 milligrams of caffeine and call it, as opposed to what like taking in 200 milligrams of caffeine in the morning.
90.
The amount
95.
It's got
The
95.
amount-
I am
The amount of
incorrect.
caffeine that I used to drink when I was smoking Marlboro Reds and drinking Red Bull all day, I would have 10 Red Bulls in a day without even noticing.
Yeah, but once you cut it back, you start having more energy again.
I was.
Did
I went on a
you
road.
got a PET scan?
I've gone to the doctor and I'm good. I'm good.
All right, good.
I don't have high blood pressure or anything, and I would do it while I was ripping Reds.
Stress
in
testing.
the morning.
stress
Two or
was,
three Reds with a big 12-ounce Red Bull. It was great.
I was on a road trip to North Dakota for the pipeline protest, and I went with this woman who was like we had mutual friends, and so we were going to split the driving. Like you drive half, I'll drive half. The only problem was I'm in the passenger side at one point, and I'm like I'm gonna take a nap, and I wake up to like this shake, and we're going 95, and I kid you not, she's holding up her phone going like this while driving. And I was like, what the f are you doing? So at that point on, I was like, I'm driving the rest of the way. And this was leaving. I think this was leaving or was on the way there. I think it was on the way there. And so what happens is I now have to drive basically 24 hours nonstop. So I loaded up on a bunch of energy drinks and ate very little. And I think I had like 2 ultra tall monsters, 2 5-hour energies, and I went to outer space.
Oh, yeah.
It was like 3 a.m. and I was driving, and then everything turned crystal, like I was hallucinating.
Yeah.
Everything looked like it was like crystal HD, and I was like, my heart was going. I thought I was gonna die, and then the backs of cars started turning into the faces of cats,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm pulling over.
Dude, when you've got to go from like Salt Lake to Vegas in the overnight, like a couple No-Dos, a couple Red Bull, and a whole pack of Marlboros will get you there, man.
So you were trying to avoid an argument with physics. That's why you drove.
I guess.
Yeah.
You look, man. When you sacrifice to do the job, you got to do what you got to do.
It doesn't even
Oh, I
work
get it.
anymore.
I
All the
get it.
kids are just taking a bunch of Adderall anyways. They have the monster. It doesn't do anything.
It doesn't work because you
Doesn't
try to get
work.
energy drinks, you just get hammered. You can't
Yeah.
even drive anymore.
And then just to cap the story off, we pull into this truck stop, and I'm like, I need to drink a bunch of water and just stop before I die. So and we were in North Dakota where it was like minus 20 or whatever, and I'm like, let's go inside, and she's like, no. And then I was like, okay, you can't sit in the car when it's minus 20, you'll die. She's like, I'll just go to sleep. And I'm like, that's how you die.
That's exactly how you
And she
die.
was like, I'll be fine. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
And then I'm pretty sure I dropped her off in North Dakota and just, she didn't ride with me.
Never heard from her again.
Yeah, actually.
And hypothermia, it sneaks up on you,
Yeah, you think you're warm, you fall asleep, and then you're dead.
and you're done.
And then I was just like, this is
That's why
insanity.
you don't drink the brown liquor when your temperatures are that cold. Tricks your body into thinking it's warmer than it is.
Well, yeah.
Do you guys know the story? Was it like the Dyatlov Pass incident or whatever?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Where like
Well,
they found the camp abandoned, and then like their clothes were thrown off, and they were just gone,
Yeah. They ran off into the.
naked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they got cold and started hallucinating, and then when you're getting cold, you feel like you're hot, so you take your clothes off.
Or maybe they got a bunch of Celsius and it ended up being
Yeah.
It is.
alcohol. And
Yeah, they got one of those charged lemonades and just went out.
I mean, I've had
wild.
hypothermia a couple times. It's not pretty.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a movie based on this where they find an old Russian base and then they time travel on accident. It's
called-
I forget, but it was fun, so I recommend it.
I'm surprised you don't know just from the description.
Yeah, they go there, they find an old Russian base, then they get attacked by these weird monsters, and then at the end they find a camera that was their camera that filmed everything they did. Then they get warped back in time or whatever, and they become the monsters. Time loop.
Time loop, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
Nice.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah. All the kids in the country right now, all the teenagers are running to their local 7-Elevens, just buying as much of the Celsius Astro Vibe as they can.
I just want this flavor.
It's the golden ticket, man.
Yeah, it's
like-
Willy Wonka.
Exactly. They're cracking it open and like, wait. And they sip it. Oh, and then they party. They're like, we did it. We were able to buy alcohol.
When I was a young man or young person, it was not that hard to get your hands on alcohol.
I mean, same. You know, like you'd stand out in front of a liquor store and then a guy would walk up and you'd be like, hey, buy me a 6-pack. And he'd be like, that's it.
Yeah.
And he just walks out. Here you go,
I did
kid.
that quite a few times.
Yeah. Nobody cared. You know, when I was a kid, you know how easy it was to get cigarettes? You'd walk into the store and say, like, I have a note from my mom. And they'd be like...
exactly how I did it.
Yeah, they'd be like, all right, that's fine by me.
I used to go there and buy Terratins for my mother.
What is that?
It's a nasty cigarette that she used to smoke.
What was it called? What were they?
Terratins.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
just
remember that.
Have a little handwritten note, and the guy looks at it and says, okay, and he hands you the cigarettes.
Yes, that's exactly how it went down.
Yeah, kids these days don't know what they're missing.
Cigarettes? You're right.
I just mean, like, how lax things kind of were,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Well, that was back when you had an operating family where there was actually discipline and morals. Now you have
Trust.
Yeah.
The truth was...
It was more dangerous in the past, too. Like, there were more abductions. There were more people, like, bad things that were happening. There were more murders in the past.
New York City was a war zone.
Yeah, it's true.
I remember the Oakland County child killer when I was a kid.
Yep.
And that was serious business. My grandfather actually drove by the field where they found one of the victims for years. And he had a supernatural incident. We won't go into it, but yeah.
When
Let's... You want to finish that?
Sarah and I were talking about, like, how old is the kid going to be before he can go, like, take his bike and ride off? And I was like, he can be 6 and he can go, tool around the neighborhood. And she's like, 6? Oh, that's so young. And I was like, hold on a second. I literally called my mom. I was like, how old was I when I jumped on my bike and took off? She was like, you were like 4.
4,
Yeah. She's like, you were just gone. As soon as I could get on the bike, there was a little curb on the driveway my dad put in. He actually put the driveway in. As soon as I could step onto the curb and get on the bike, I was gone. Yep. I knew to be back by the time the lights came on.
Yeah, when the lights come on, you better be home.
Yep. Let's jump to this story. We've got this from Prime Timer. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a lot of people saying that American Eagle has responded with an apology to the Sydney Sweeney ad. They didn't. It's a parody from Clickhole, and it's hilarious. And it's weird that anyone considers an apology. I got to be honest. The Clickhole joke is funny, but it's weird there's a backlash at all to a model wearing clothes. But sure. So here's what happens. There is an apology that's gone viral. It's not real. I'm going to read it for you, and I'm going to gently massage the language for those that are having family in the room. So this is going around, and I saw people saying this is real. It's not real. It's not real. Okay. For those that aren't familiar with the context, Sydney Sweeney has great genes is the ad campaign, and they show her boobs, and she smacks her butt, and there's a bunch of these, and woke lefties are like, this is Nazi propaganda. Genes? That's eugenics. So Clickhole made this. It says, we hear you. Our Sydney Sweeney Has Great Genes campaign missed the mark. Our intention was purely to inspire you to images of Sydney Sweeney wearing our clothes. We had no ulterior purpose or message to convey beyond get yourself off on these close-up shots of Sydney Sweeney's body in tight-fitting denim. That's it. That people viewed our ad as promoting eugenics and not as sexual fodder they could think about while pleasuring themselves in the shower or wherever they... to images of buxom women like Sydney Sweeney breaks our heart. Perhaps our messaging could have been clearer. Maybe a more literal slogan such as, Sydney Sweeney has great breasts and buttocks for you to would have spared our brand all this trouble. It's too late to know. All we can do now is officially condemn any and all ideologies that endorse eugenics and promise to do better. What I think is funny about this is that Clickhole, I believe, was like BuzzFeed company or something like that. These companies, like Clickhole, was woke. This is part of that woke media industrial complex. And when you look at what's going on with South Park, they're all abandoning it as fast as they can. They're now getting on the edgy and offensive comedy as quickly as they can and trying to return to literal humor over this.
I just put something in the Slack from TMZ about this.
The words you should use is pulling your noodle. That's you. I believe that is YouTube, acceptable.
Apparently, the Naked Gun, the new Naked Gun, is really good, and the comedy is actually really, really good.
So Phil, we have an update. Phil just sent me this. American Eagle and Sydney Sweeney, vast majority like her genes. Social media isn't real life. So they're saying TMZ wrongly attributed the information to an AE spokesperson. We reached out to AE. They had no comment. So I guess they ran this fake apology?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
They ran the Clickhole apology?
TMZ is usually on top of these things.
Wow.
Dang.
Really?
Yeah.
And they went with that. Okay.
I do think that it's worth noting American Eagle has not come out with an apology.
Yeah.
An
Oh no,
actual
they didn't run the clickhole one. They just ran a different statement.
Oh, okay.
And they misattributed it. It says the bottom line is this is about creating a great pair of jeans and supporting a very worthy cause through some of the proceeds going to domestic violence prevention. Anything beyond that is noise. So who actually said this?
I'm not 100% sure.
Well,
But
whoever said it, it's
TMZ was
gone
running
viral.
it, so that's why I shared it, because it related. But like I said, I think it's worth noting that, we talked about Jolie Swoll today on PCC.
That's what he should have done. He should have wrote a fake apology.
Yeah, we talked about him and how he, was very quick to come out and say, "Oh, hey, I'm sorry," blah blah blah. And then of course the leftists attacked him with renewed vigor because that's what they do as soon as
You admitted
apologize.
that you were wrong.
And so it's good that American Eagle hasn't said anything, and it seems like they're not going to. I imagine that they probably have more in this marketing campaign to come. Not that I don't know that it will definitely be Sydney Sweeney, but I imagine more is going to come from this campaign. And I can't wait to see it. I hope that people have more meltdowns.
Well, it's free publicity for them.
Yeah, but that wasn't enough.
Yeah, people are upset about our jeans, but
5 years ago, that wasn't enough, though. Like 5 years ago, people would,
cancel you.
Yeah, even the company would then come out and tuck their tail between the legs and give some type of apology that didn't need to be done, because when these companies do capitulate, it ends up being worse for them. That's what happened to all of these fashion brands that ended up putting ugly models on their ad campaigns, and then they all ended up, if not folding, they ended up losing huge market share.
Really, it used to be like so demoralizing walking through a mall.
Yeah, I mean, still,
Yes.
you still kind of have to go into a
You just
fugue
see
state
this
to
and
walk
you're
through a
like-
mall, but
Like, what are we doing? It's like a Costco when you're looking around. I mean, what are we doing here?
They have those stores, Torrid,
Yeah.
which what does that mean? Horrid and terrible? I'm not joking. I'm torrid is like
torrid?
terrible and horrible.
Sounds like something I
Horrid.
come up with.
And it's
like to
for
blend
fat
words.
women. Yeah.
Parched with the heat of the sun, intensely hot, scorching, burning, passionate, ardent.
I thought it was terrible and horrible all at once.
It's not.
Well,
what
That's the
just
feeling
that
I get.
one with the fat models.
Well, the thing is most of those
Bryant.
fat acceptance models are, passing away.
Oh, it's true.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's really funny is my wife was telling me this because she is slim, and she's like, I wear the same size every time, and so she had a pair of clothes for a while, and she was like, I really like these jeans, I'm going to order them again. She ordered the same size, they were massive. What the company did was, because women's sizes are not uniform, it's just like a 6, a 7, an 8. They increased the size but kept the number the same because women are getting fatter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
And
it's
so
like
the prediction was a woman who was, like a 0 last year is going to be a 1, and she's going to get really angry if she orders a 0 and don't fit. So just make zeros bigger, but keep calling them zeros.
It really does speak about like the temperament of men and women, because women's sizes are, were you going to say the
have
same
you
thing?
ever-
Like the women's sizes are like just random. It could double zero might be
wanna
small.
be
but if
lied
you
to.
go, yeah, they want to be lied to. Whereas men, if you have a 34-inch waist, it is 34 inches because that's the kind of thing that men would expect.
You gotta-
34 inches makes
So
sense.
you're talking about the algebra woman sizing?
yeah,
And then you got to go to the big and tall section.
it's
not
like
just
AB
algebra.
squared minus C.
It's like quantum
Yes.
mechanics, because who effing
Comedy
knows?
gold.
And that's before you get into
Steal
like
that one.
European sizing,
Yeah,
which is
right.
of course because they're smaller than Americans. But
I am extra large.
No, but like for me, so everybody who watches PCC knows like I have my long shirts, but like I have a specific brands that I buy, and there was a point where I found these ones that I really really liked, and I bought it in black, and then like fit really really well. Bought 2 more, and by the time the company had grown and the cut of the shirt had changed, the sizing had changed. It was nothing like the one that I bought before, but all they had to do was just tell me like it was a different size. I would have just bought the different size.
It's true though, but like, European sizing is actually different, because I bought a pair of shorts that were from Europe, and there was my normal 30-inch waist, and they don't fit right.
A lot of
Yep.
the skate companies that I used to skate for used to brand in Europe, and all of you'd have to buy, like if you wore a large, you had to buy an XL. If you wore an XL, you had to buy a 2XL, and they didn't even make ones bigger than that because there were no Europeans that fat.
Ridiculous.
They haven't invented it. Yeah, like some of these brands like lean into it. Like you go like a Tommy Bahama, and they're like, "Here's the fat slob section."
You know what's really
it's XL. Okay.
one thing that's really funny is a lot of people talk about how Americans are so fat, but having traveled the world, you guys see the portions are tiny in most places.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In America, it's just like, man, I go to breakfast and I can't believe the plate that I'm given. And you order a waffle, and it's the size of the whole plate.
Yeah. You go to France, it's like, yeah, I'll have the full breakfast, and they bring out like a croissant and a cigarette. And you're like,
You could watch like a lot of videos on YouTube where Europeans actually come to America and freak out of all the food and the portions.
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, well, I think that's
Americans are large.
And it is true, our food is filled with a ton of chemicals, but like people will travel to Europe and be like, I ate whatever I wanted and I still lost weight. I was like, because your portions were like a quarter of the size and you walked everywhere. Like, of course you're going to lose weight.
That's probably a big part of it too. Is this whatever city you're in, you're walking to get everywhere.
Yeah.
You're not driving.
I think the reason Americans are getting fat is because of the internet. There were a lot of people that thought it was like, high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, and chemicals. And I think it's the internet. People don't go out anymore.
Well, it could be a combination.
But I think while the chemicals are bad, there are a lot of people who are not fat who eat garbage food. So I certainly think it does contribute, but people don't go outside anymore. So you used to have to walk places. When I was a kid, if I wanted to do anything, we had the internet too, but the internet was on a computer, and so you either had to stay home all day, which sucked, and we had dial-up. So it's
That was
We didn't have
glorious.
social media as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we had AIM. We had AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah.
And so you would see who was online. You'd have this big list of people. But we went out and did stuff. So I'd get my skateboard, and to go to the park, it was 3 or 4 miles. Like an hour and a half to get there, skating the whole way. And then I'd get there, and I'd be super like, oh, I'm hungry. And you'd go to 7-Eleven, and I'd get taquitos and Milo. You guys know what Milo is?
Yeah.
That, like, energy chocolate milk from Mexico or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Even before I came to work here where I was living in Minnesota, I did not have a car, so I walked or biked to get everywhere, and I was skating 7 days a week, and I had the same crappy diet then and was quite a bit smaller just because you were walking at least 2 to 3 miles every day on top of skating. And then at the same time, I was like, now I go out and skate. I'm like, why am I so sore when I start? I'm like, oh, it's because I didn't just walk a mile to get here and stretch my legs. But even in the summer, my weight fluctuates by at least 10 pounds because I'm getting out way more in the summer in the heat and actually sweating through it.
Everything's at your fingertips. You want food, groceries. I go on DoorDash, and I'll be like, I'm going to get some chicken wings, and I press enter, and then it's like, they will come, and then it asks me if I need toilet paper. It's like, hey, by the way, your driver can stop at 7-Eleven, pick up toilet paper, toothbrush, whatever you need. And I'm
Probably
like,
started that with Taco Bell.
If you're eating real hot wings, you might need that toilet paper.
That's
Or
right.
You might have to wipe your backside with ice cream.
You order Burger
Depending-
King, they're
depending
like,
on
do you
the-
want some Celsius just to forget this?
I ordered Chuck E. Cheese pizza off DoorDash once.
That's
What?
That's going to put you on a list.
One time I ordered a crumble cookie off of DoorDash. I've never spent so much money on cookies in my life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
I'll
I'm
tell-
not
I'll
going
tell
to
you
the
the
Chuck E.
secret.
Cheese.
Yeah.
Most people, I think a lot of people know this, but we were ordering from a local restaurant here for work. I was like, I'm going to get burgers and salads and, appetizers, and we're going to do a big order. We do it periodically. Sometimes every Friday we order stuff. But I was in this big order from a local restaurant, and the order was like $400 because, we got a ton of employees here, and there's like 10 cheeseburgers, fries, 10 apps. And when I went to confirm the order, it said the restaurant was closed, which they are not. And so I couldn't do anything. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll call the restaurant. And I said, hey, DoorDash says you're closed. And they're like, we're open. I said, can we do a delivery? I said, sure. I was like, well, I can't submit this because it says you're closed. And she's like, read me your order. And I did. It was $200.
Wow.
All delivery fees and surcharges.
Well, it's like you order a cheeseburger direct from the restaurant and it's $10, or $13 or $14 because it's like a restaurant burger. You order on DoorDash, it's $20.
They're calling it post DoorDash clarity when you realize you dropped $30. You just have like a self crisis. What have I done?
Yes.
It's okay. Taco Bell's worth it.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean,
I like
crumble cookie is.
I like Del
Crumble?
Taco.
Oh God, they're so
What about it?
they're delicious cookies.
It's just their cookies.
10,000 calories.
Yeah,
per
they're
cookie.
well. The big ones are like 790 a piece, and then the small ones are actually only 190 a piece. So if you get 3 of the small ones,
Yo, America, you don't need the cookies.
And everyone, when you go into a crumble, everyone there looks like they're like cheating. Like you see, like they're cheating.
They're
on their
looking
spouse.
around.
They're like trying to keep their head down and stuff. Have
you guys-
like really sad?
Have you guys ever been to Sweet Frog?
No.
Oh, I am we regularly go to Sweet Frog.
I love it.
Yeah.
But I just gotta admit, the smallest cup is what, like a pint?
Yeah, but you don't have to fill it up. That's the
Right, but come
You're
on.
like your
Come
brain
on.
tricks you into thinking you have to fill it up past the
That's
top
the
of the
point.
thing. No.
It should be
The
like,
price is different depending on how much it weighs, so actually putting less in saves you money too.
Oh.
Dude, you know, it's crazy because I can respect this to a certain degree, but every time you go to an ice cream place, at least out here, I'll say, I'll have a scoop of chocolate peanut butter. And they give me like 3 scoops jammed into this thing, like bulging. I'm like, I am not going to eat that. I just wanted a little bit of ice cream. I'm not eating a pint of Ben & Jerry's right now, dude. It's not happening.
They would rather be yelled at by you than somebody who's like, this isn't enough.
I mean, they're being nice, but like, yo, America. It's crazy, legit. Like 2 scoops. I went to Ben & Jerry's and I was like, I'll get the 2 scoop. It was a pint.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, it's like 1,000,
Getting crazy.
like 1,200 calories and like 300 carbs.
The
I'm not eating
31
it.
flavors does that as well.
And people love it.
Do you remember the Froyo hustle back in
yeah.
the day when everyone, and you'd fill up the thing and then you'd get to the toppings and it'd be like, oh, yeah, I guess I'll put beef jerky on my ice cream.
That's Sweet Frog.
Yeah, and then you get there and it's like $35 because they're like,
That's Sweet Frog. You get a little cup. They got all the things.
Yeah.
All the different flavors. And then
Cake batter fro.
yeah, and you're just,
and then they've got this big old tray full of everything you can imagine.
yeah, like I'll put dog
once-
treats on it, I guess. I don't know.
I didn't even put yogurt in one time. I just was like, give me
toppings.
Yeah, it was like Snickers bars, Reese's, whipped cream and caramel. And I was like,
Twix.
I just want the candy.
It's like, sir, how do you want to
And they were
finance
like,
this? That's how it goes.
Yeah.
I go through the whole thing, and because I don't put any syrup on it, I'm like, I'm saving myself so much weight gain if I just don't put any syrup on top.
be-
Wasn't it Klarna that was the finance your food
Yeah.
app? Yeah. Klarna.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
We're gonna repossess that burrito. What are you gonna do?
I mean,
Come on,
no,
come
I
at
mean,
me, bro.
When people talk about late stage capitalism, and then I hear about Klarna, I'm like, maybe, like I don't know if late stage capitalism is actually a thing, but if people are financing their burgers, maybe that's what we are.
I've gotten those before. I can't remember what app it's on, but it's like pay for your meal in 4
installments?
Yeah. I'm not
Oh
joking.
my
It's like
God.
4 easy installments of $6.99. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
How do you
Like
what?
fling to Colombia because like Long John Silver's is on their tail.
Could you imagine like you're about to get arrested? I'm arrested. You're about to get married. Maybe there's some overlap there. About to get married, and your wife's like, is there any like, hey, before we get married, I want to let you know that I hope this doesn't change anything, but I do have a lot of debt. She's like, you do? And be like, yeah, and if you're going to marry me, this would cause issues, but I thought it was important that I let you know. What's the debt from? I was financing burritos from Taco Bell. A lot.
Long John Silver's is after
There's a
you.
guy.
What? I've got $3,000 in debt on back pay plus interest for all of the burritos I was ordering every day.
There's a
Burrito debt.
guy financing all the McDonald's Monopoly tickets, and it's like a big racket.
Klarna?
Gets shot in a motel.
Where's the churros? I
It
just
is
can't say no to
Klarna,
churros.
Aren't they suing a whole bunch of people trying to get the money back?
Klarna's going out of business.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, it's over.
I mean, it should have been pretty obvious. If you have to finance a burrito, you're not dealing
groceries,
with
man.
particularly financially literate people.
And then people were doing like postmodern thesis about like what it means to live in a culture with Klarna, and I'm like, this is awful.
When I used to do mortgages, I would literally look at between 3 and 30 credit reports a day. And some of the stuff that was on those credit reports, I'm just like, you got to be kidding me.
Like what?
Collections for, a guy had a J.C. Penney account that was defaulted for like $26,000.
It's like student loan
What
debt
are you
is
doing
J.C. Penney.
at J.C. Penney's for $26,000? I'm just like, what? And you have to call the guy and decline him and like, hey man, I can't do your VA loan for you. One, your credit score is really, really low, and you owe like $26,000 to J.C. Penney.
Should I do it right now? I just checked. I can Klarna a pizza.
Can you please do that? Can we please? That'd be so sick.
Wait, which
Should we finance a Papa John's cheese pizza right
Finance
now?
it for as long as you can. Like, not just like,
'Cause I'm working
in
on my
2
credit.
payments. See if you can stretch it till December.
What happens if you don't pay it on time, though? Do they
come
tack on
after
like
you.
a huge fee?
interest? Yeah.
Yeah, they
I bet you could buy that pizza on Klarna, default on it, and it wouldn't affect your credit report at all.
The driver comes back to pick the
Like
pizza.
you've got a report on your credit. What is it? You owe $7 for a pizza. I'd just be like, dispute. Could you imagine Klarna being like, we're taking you to court over the $7.83 you have left on your pizza payments? The court's gonna say no. The judge is gonna be like, nah, we're not taking this case.
We're not burning the time up for $7 for a burrito. I'm sorry.
just come back. Your car's on cinder blocks, just Klarna carved into the hood. You're like, no.
Your Klarna card was declined.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Klarna cartel is gonna come after you.
Okay, it says 4 payments made every 2 weeks.
4 payments.
Okay. On orders only $35 and above.
Oh.
Well, you know what that means.
Pay off your cheese pizza over 2 months.
Does that include tip? Can you make like a tip that's really expensive?
Oh my! Oh, it's a 25. Wait, what? Oh, it says zero interest. Zero interest.
Well, that's why they're going under. Wow. They didn't understand
type
how
of
credit works at
banking
all.
We need to do
institution is this?
wellness check on Dave Ramsey as soon as possible. That dude's going through it right now.
Should I do it? Who wants a midnight cheese pizza?
Not me.
If it's
I don't want to.
I'm taking it home with me.
Do you want me? If I order right now, you'll get it here in time.
Take it.
let's do it.
Let's see what happens.
He's gonna make me.
My wife's gonna
co-sign
be
on it,
like-
and I'm gonna go into debt.
My wife's gonna be like, "Why did we get a bill for a pizza that's 4 payments of $3.97?" I don't.
Brett asks, so I
Over leveraged
financed
on the
it.
stuffed crust.
For the show.
Wait a minute.
Allison, it was for the show. I did it for the
Wait.
content.
Hold on. I think they don't even charge you initially.
This is a disaster.
Yeah.
Okay, no, you pay 25% up front. Oh. Then you pay 25% in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and 6 weeks.
That's hilarious.
You have a month and a half.
To pay for a pizza.
This is
Lord.
weird. Late stage capitalism, dude.
Yep,
Over.
that's what it is.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's not actually.
I don't understand. Like, why not do it? They're not charging me interest.
It's gotta be
Because
some
you could.
kind of
Because Tim, you have the money for the pizza. That's why not.
Why not
Well,
do
well,
it?
hold
Especially if you
on.
can send up,
Wait.
auto pay.
I got an idea. We should legit do this. I'm gonna order food using Klarna, and the money that I would normally spend. Check this out. Okay, here's my plan. I'm gonna order $100 worth of food for the office. $100 flat. I'm gonna finance it with Klarna. Pay $25 up front. Take that $75. Put it in Bitcoin.
I was just gonna say.
In
buy
2
Bit-
weeks, take $75 out. I'm sorry, 2 weeks, take 25 out and pay the next. Then in 2 weeks, take 25 out and pay.
You should.
And then in 6 weeks, take the last 25 and see if I've actually made a profit.
You should ape into shit coins with it. Is what you should do. $75 on fart coin. Letting it ride.
Here's the funny thing, because the way wealthy people play these games with like stock loans is, let's say you have $1 billion worth of stock you can't sell. You get a loan against it, and the interest rate might be like 4%. You then take the whatever extracted. Let's say you pulled out $50 million, invest it in something that generates above 4%, and you're making a profit off the loans. Yep. That's how they cycle this money.
That's what happened during the.
So you're talking
the
about
whole
margin
aught.
trading.
Is
Or
that what it
trading.
is?
Yeah, you trade on margin.
So you're basically, like your loan interest is lower than the interest generated from the investment.
Well, typically, if you're going to do margin trading, say you have $100,000, some of institutions will let you do like 20% above that. And if you've done,
I don't
it
know
for
if this
a
is
while-
margin trading.
Well, the thing is they do charge you an interest on the margin trading.
So a billionaire who has, let's say there's a guy who's got $100 million in stock in a corporation.
Or it could be arbitrage. You can be doing
Yeah,
that as well.
I think this is arbitrage.
Okay.
Maybe not. Anyway, what they'll do is they'll say to a bank, give me a loan, a $10 million loan at 3%. They say, okay, they take $10 million. They then invest it in something that guarantees them 7%.
Yep.
So then they can pay back the loan at 4% with a 7% interest on the other money. And so they're making money.
That's what was happening the entire time that we had zero interest rates, from 2009 all the way until they started raising interest rates in like 2018. And that's a huge part of the reason why income inequality is so bad nowadays.
Wow.
DoorDash arbitrage.
Yeah.
There is
So-
a coin called Klarna Burrito.
Oh, check it out. Here's the idea. The prices of food fluctuate. So what you do is you're going long on Chipotle. You tell someone, I'll buy the food for you right now. You pay me back next month for the full cost of the Chipotle, right? So you basically finance, you spend, let's say they do $100 Chipotle. You spend $25 now. In 1 month, when Chipotle is now 10% more, they got to pay you back $110, to which you use the money they pay you to pay off the rest of the Klarna. That's right.
Yep.
Long, what is that? Going long on Chipotle?
On Chipotle.
Futures?
Listen, that option trading is crazy.
Yeah.
Can we make an app that exploits Klarna in a way? I'm not saying illegally, like, so that people can short people's food orders? Like, are they going to pay it back?
It's like the friend who's like, oh, I'll get lunch today, and you make sure it's fast food, but then when you go out to someplace nice, he's like, this one's on you, right?
Yeah.
So what you do is You basically pull the Big Short. You go to a bank and say, we want to create a way to short debt on Klarna for fast food because anybody who needs to finance fast food can't pay it back. And so I guarantee you these are going to default.
Oh, yeah.
That's, you need to lose some weight. You're just getting shorted into the ground. All these big investments.
No, the whole finance thing is crazy because, in 2008, when the market tanked, I mean, I saw that coming like 6-7 years prior because I used to do those mortgages for people. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, your credit score is only, what, 560? Yeah, of course we'll give you, $300,000. And
they were giving loans.
Adjustable.
Yeah, they were giving loans to people that had no jobs.
Correct.
No income.
It's called liar loans. I got one.
What was it called?
Liar loan.
Liar loans.
When I first got divorced, I was living in the street for a while. I got back in the Army, called a buddy of mine because I used to do mortgages. Mm-hmm. As he's passed away, but I remember hey, he goes, well, you have income? I'm like, I just started, Well, okay. What's your credit score? It's like 813. Okay.
Wow.
Literally, you just I make this much money, and here's your mortgage. Now, luckily, I was able to refinance it because those are usually adjustable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Usually 2 years, and then you get hammered.
Yep.
And after 1 year, I just rolled it into a VA, and
there you go.
got 30 years fixed.
That's what caused the 2008 crash. Is
Yes.
have all of these adjustable rate mortgages. Just the rates changed and people couldn't make the payments. So
we're gonna go to your chats, my friends. So smash the like button, share the show with everyone. That uncensored portion of the show will be coming up at 10 p.m. at rumble.com/Timcast IRL. This story is not for the faint of heart. You're going to get very, very angry, and people are going to say some very naughty things about it. So this one will be for the uncensored portion. But I recommend you guys come and watch at, again, rumble.com/Timcast IRL at 10 p.m. For now, we're going to grab your chats and rants. All right. Shane H. Wilder says, hey, Tim, what is the name of that fish joint in Martinsburg? As an aside, I saw that rock store in Frederick Mall where you procured a few geodes for Ian. I was like, I've seen this place before. The rock store at the Frederick Mall is awesome. It's the best store ever. They sell rocks.
Every time I go by there, I'm like, I remember the time you bought the lady who worked there, was like a $700 rock or something.
It was a $700 rock.
She's like, the lady's like, I've always wanted this rock, and I'm like, that tracks. I suppose if I worked at a rock store, I might have like a white whale rock that I want.
And then I said, I'll take it, and you can have it. And she was like, what? It's a $700 rock, and it's yours.
Yeah.
And they were like, wow. But the rock store is really cool. It's very educational, and the kids can crack geodes. And Ian cries every time we go because he just loves rocks. And he's special. So, as for the fish joint in Martinsburg, my friends, if you find yourself out here, or if you're bored on a weekend and you're not too far away, Mother Shuckers, it's amazing. Not only is the food incredible, but it says FJB on their door. I know, it's old, but it checks out. And they've got a bunch of pro-Trump memes and stuff everywhere, and they're unashamed. And it's a good spot. It's very lively. And their wings are some of the best I've ever had. And I like getting scallops. It's a great spot.
Scallops are good.
Scallops are incredible, especially there. They nail it. They get it. It's good.
I'm gonna try this place you speak of.
Yeah, I mean, if you're out here, I don't know what their hours are. I think it's like on weekdays they open at like 4 p.m.
Okay.
It's hard for us to get there, but when we do, we do enjoy it. And then I guess I mentioned them before, and then people started showing up. And so when I went back, they were like, we ate, everything was fine. As we were walking out there, I just want to say thank you because people are coming in. I was like, right on. I'm glad people are coming. Yeah, it's a good spot. And then it's funny. There's a Thai food restaurant in Winchester called Sabai Thai that we go to. And I didn't even realize that we talked about it, but apparently people have been going there like crazy. And they were like, we've been really busy because they said you mentioned the show or you mentioned the store. And I was like, oh, I mean, it's really good. It's the restaurants we like.
Remember that?
Well, word of mouth works.
I mean, we live around here, and so we've tried all the restaurants. I'm not going to recommend a place we don't like. You know what I mean?
I'm the same way.
Yeah. So I don't remember the places we don't like because we don't go back. Is what it
makes
is.
sense.
Indeed. All right. Suze McCarley says, Pop, Pringles, tell the story.
Oh my God.
Is it a naughty story?
That's for the uncensored.
Let's go.
Listen, all right. Thank you, Susie. I appreciate it. Oh my Lord.
Big Country Breakfast says, I know someone in the Danville rumor mill. She says it's a lover's quarrel. Vogel got with the attacker's wife, something like that. That's what people are saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cosmic Spook says, I'm from Danville. Lee was having an affair with Shoddy's wife.
Ooh,
Yup.
an affair.
I've been in that situation, and it's ugly, and emotions get run thick, and judgment gets cloudy.
Man. NNY says, yeesh, go camping on bike 2 weeks, come back, harass Brett and Phil on PCC, watch Happy Gilmore 2, laugh a lot, tune in, see this headline, let me back into the bushes now. Happy Gilmore 2 was funny, but it wasn't a movie. It was
just all cameos.
It was member berries.
Yeah.
Like, the plot makes no sense. It's just, you know what, man? I have no problem saying this to the world and to everybody. I am better at making movies than literally anybody ever. I just have never been given the opportunity.
Fair enough.
I'm half kidding. I always leave movies being like, it would have been better if they did this. Here's my pitch for Happy Gilmore 2. And I'm only talking to Brett because he's the only one who ever knows what I'm talking about. His wife should have died from cancer.
Why?
The idea that in the first Happy Gilmore movie, he's a miscreant, loser, and he overcomes all of his problems to save his grandma. He becomes a hero, underdog story. They said, okay, we're going to write part 2. In fact, erase the victories of part 1, make him a loser, make him even more of a loser, and the stakes now are that it's not really that important, but he's a loser. And I'm like, no, hold on, man. We loved Happy Gilmore because it was comedic, it was funny, and he was the underdog good guy.
Yeah.
Shooter was the bad guy. He kills his wife because he hits a drive and then she chokes on the ball and dies. And I'm like, okay. And then he spirals out of control, destroys his life, and loses his grandma's house. And I'm like, no. Part 1 ended with him saving his grandma's house.
Yeah.
They could have had it be a bit more touching in that he still had her house, he still lived there, and he retires from golf after his wife dies of cancer.
Yeah.
And then it's not that he's a loser, it's that circumstances beyond his control have challenged him, and we want to see him get back on the horse. Instead, he's a loser. He killed his wife. He lost everything. He lost grandma's house. He never fights to get it back. He ignores it completely. Shooter's a good guy now for no reason. He enters the plot randomly for no reason.
Which is weird because the Shooter McGavin account on X is a villain account. It's one of the best villain accounts on X.
Yep.
And you're right. Like a movie like that benefits from a certain level of earnestness that it's not willing to use as like the foundation for the film.
Ben Stiller was underutilized. He basically cameos, and there was a recurring theme in the first movie where Ben Stiller was abusing his grandma. That was the point. He needed to rescue his grandma from this horrible situation and get her house back. And he was only doing it to help somebody else, and he was kind of a dick.
We'll really know comedy's back if they'll make like a sequel to Heavyweights with Ben Stiller. Like then, when you can make fun of fat people again in the movies, that's
Tropic
when we'll
Thunder
know that
2.
it's... Yeah.
Yes. Tropic Thunder is
Ben Stiller said
once
he'll
in a
do
life-
it, and so did Robert Downey Jr.
He said he'll do it.
He said, I mean,
they
I don't
gotta
think they
do
ever
it.
will, but yeah.
Dude, one of the best movie scenes ever filmed is when Matthew McConaughey calls, or he comes in screaming at Tom Cruise, and he gets the call.
I love that.
From the Viet Cong or whatever.
I think Tom Cruise would do it too.
This is Red Dragon. Yeah. Oh man.
The thing that really freaked me out is when you saw Tom Cruise's hands. I was just like, look at those meat pumps.
Right?
What is he, a super plumber or something?
I got a hot take before we go to the next super chat. The Dark Universe should not have been canceled. I was so excited.
You mean his monster universe with Tom Cruise? Yeah.
They should have never canceled it.
Yeah. I mean, nobody went to see the movies, so.
That's the marketing problem. The idea is fantastic. The idea is Universal owns the classic monsters, Wolfman, Jekyll and Hyde, Dracula, the Mummy, and they were like, let's make this a universe where the through line is the manifestation of evil. And then they were like, they did one movie with Tom Cruise. It's okay, C+, enjoyable, but I'm excited for the concept, and they just abandoned the whole project.
I think it's because people thought they were going to, you can't recreate what happened with Brendan Fraser's Mummy, and because it's a completely different movie, and people went into it thinking they were going to get something along those lines.
To be fair, it wasn't the Mummy.
No.
It's like some woman with demon powers, and then Tom Cruise fights her.
Yeah.
But it's a movie. I guess they tried too hard to make it superhero-ish.
Yeah, well, it was trying to follow the Marvel formula.
Yeah, but just make the dark universe. Like, make it, because it was really cool how I think it was Russell Crowe, right?
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, yeah.
He played Jekyll, and then he's got like the serum to stop, and then when he transforms into Hyde, it was really well done. I was like, he stands straight up. He doesn't actually change physically. He just asserts his posture, and then his accent changes, and just beating the crap out of Tom Cruise. I mean, I loved it.
If they were going to do that now, they should be getting Robert Eggers to make that movie and get a different actor.
Hey, you know what, man?
I think they are making a new Mummy with Brendan Fraser, too.
What?
I think so.
No.
Let me double check on that.
He's going to have to drop 100 pounds.
He's already lost the weight.
He's already lost
Really?
a bunch,
Wow.
I will absolutely see that movie. I will see it twice.
Yeah,
if
I
they,
did a
like
video
Mummy
on
4.
Brendan Fraser a couple years back.
He's back?
No, I did a video on him.
No, I'm saying like right now he's like getting in shape.
He's coming back.
I will see that movie 3 times.
In development, April of 2026.
Wow.
Yeah, he got
I will buy
screwed
3
over in
tickets
his
for
tour.
1. Oh, I know. I love the Mummy movies with Brendan Fraser. If they have him back as the character, what are they gonna give him, like a wig or something?
Maybe they just let him age. Like, you don't put him in the wig. You just let
That's
him
fine. If he gets in shape and he's aged,
Yeah.
and they do his character justice, and they do him as an actor justice, and they don't do some stupid, it's a cameo and then he leaves.
Yeah. Yeah, he better not be passing the torch because they have actual torches in those. I don't want him passing a real torch.
I bet they do that.
That'd be stupid.
He's like, take this. And he hands the torch. All right. Let's grab some more of these. Mason M93 says, nobody has as many friends as Hillary Clinton had friends who killed themselves. Yikes.
Pretty much.
All right, let's see. Gitchy says, don't mess with jinns. I've seen videos of Middle Eastern urban explorers checking out haunted places and will have an entire boiler thrown at them from across the room.
I've seen those videos. They're pretty convincing.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Like jinns attack them in the Middle East?
Well, it's more like ghosts, but that's what they call them in the Middle East.
They call ghosts jinns?
Yeah.
But a jinn is a reference like an interdimensional being or something, like an entity of some sort. Or
Well, in a D&D sense, yes. But in the Middle East, you talk about a ghost, they just call it a jinn.
But they don't literally mean someone who died and came back.
Well, that's exactly what they say over there. I mean,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Weird. Thinker for Life says, in ancient times, there was a demon goddess named Ishtar. This demon goddess was a man and a woman and celebrated their birthday for the entire month of June by parading and beating drums in the streets. That's not true.
Wait, say it again?
They said, Ishtar is a demon goddess who was a man and a woman, and they celebrated their birthday for the entire month of June by parading and beating drums in the streets.
Has to be a woman because they're the ones who celebrate an entire birthday month.
Yeah, really.
No, they're making
guy
a point, they're
celebrates
making a
a
point
birthday
about Pride Month.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah?
I'm saying I don't believe that's correct.
Yeah.
But who am I to judge?
Like most dudes on their birthday usually go out and buy their own stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Somebody asks you what you want for your birthday, you're like, crap, I don't even know.
Man, why?
Like, how'd you know it was my birthday?
I'm watching YouTube erase
Sad.
super chats in real time. That's weird.
Ooh,
Wow.
Yeah, what's up with this? Anyway,
big.
here we go. Quinn says, have a Pringles can for the popster.
Oh, my God.
We'll save that for the after show.
Wow.
Oh, my Lord. You guys are going
I'm
to lose
excited.
all
They're all-
respect for me when I
What
tell
did you
you this.
expect?
They're all spam blasting in the super chat Pringles. There's like 7 Pringles. Jason Dixon says, hey, Tim, look, 61 months, bro. Incredible. I appreciate it, man. And I saw your super chat, but YouTube deleted it. You said elite membership, all the cool stuff was basically shut down. Let me tell you, because we were trying to open a physical location for the elite membership, that was the plan. That was the pitch. That we were going to create a space digitally first. Elite membership on the website is privy to access. But the manifestation was going to be, we're going to have this club where you get elite access to, and it's literally only going to be like 100 people. And then the city basically blocked us from doing it. We sold the building, and we're trying to figure out what we do next. So let us figure that out for you guys. And the other thing, too, was we were supposed to have dedicated seats at these events coming up for elite members that are like preferred up front and like VIP access stuff. So I think what we might do is like, because the venue's not that big, maybe when we have a bigger venue with like 1,000 seats, we can. Right now, the venue we have could probably accommodate 5 VIP members, like all access. But I don't know if we can do that because it's not even a backstage. It's literally a hallway that leads to the stage. So we don't have anything like that. But we will figure it out. We'll figure it out for you guys. We'll figure that one out. Warpig says, we lost Dueling, but now we have President and FBI protecting pedos and calling anyone who cares about it weak and stupid. You know?
Not wrong.
Yeah. Houston Ducks, I can't read that word. I don't know what that is. Yep. Can't read that. Let's see what we got going on. Jay says, my wife and I are continue the tradition by tuning in to Timcast IRL from the hospital as we welcome our first child to this world. Welcome our daughter, Angel Grace. Keep up the great work.
Great to hear.
I have news. My baby was laughing for the first time today.
Nice.
How old is your child?
What was
5 months. Yeah.
what were they?
Congratulations. I didn't
She
know.
was pulling on my wife's hair, and I started laughing, and then she was sitting on my wife, pulling on the hair, and then she started laughing, and then we were like, holy crap, she's laughing. And it was like, it was a weird laugh.
It's the best, isn't it?
She was
Got a
laughing.
sense of humor, guys.
And we were like, whoa. And then I was like, I tried pulling her hair again. I'm like, look, I'm doing it too. Laugh more. And she just smiled. So, big update. Big update.
That's awesome.
It's big.
Yeah, big update. It's interesting because she has said hello before, several times. We were on vacation. I can't, was it Memorial Day or something? And Richie was there. He witnessed it. And I asked her, can you say hello? And she went, hello.
Wow.
And Richie went, oh my God. And I was like, she said it. But now she won't. Now she just does gibberish and she just screams in the morning. So it's like I wake up at 6:30 of her just going, ah, ah, blah, 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 and, you know.
Babbling. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then my wife is like all tired looking and she's like got this look on her face. And then I look over at her and I say, I couldn't sleep because of the angels singing. And then she starts laughing
And
because she's so
the
tired.
babbling will continue. And right before they start talking, you will get harshly yelled at by your own child in a language you can't understand.
Oh, that's happened already.
Yeah. Oh, hi. You're like,
Yeah.
hey.
Well, so we were doing tummy time. And at first, she would just start crying when it was too much. Just bawling. And then once she got to the babbling phase, when she was doing tummy time and it was too much, she would go, and
Yeah.
we'd be like, oh, we get it.
Yeah.
But now she has no problem sitting up, and she's now sitting up. She's not sitting up on herself, but she can in the crawl pose, but she can't actually crawl. She can spin in circles.
Yeah, my oldest daughter used to follow me around the house and scold me in a language I could never understand. I'm like, what? Yeah. Okay.
It's good stuff. All right, let's grab a couple more here. Captain Wrinkle says, I'm a skeptical believer. I believe, but also think 99% of ghost reports are BS. Shadow people have already been explained, but your theory of souls lingering till their time to leave comes is pretty cool. Yeah, I had a free horror movie idea for Pure Flix. Is that what it's called? That's the Christian streaming service.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because there's no way to make this movie tastefully. The idea of the movie was opening scene. It's late night in an office, and there's a woman in the corner office working, and a guy is turning the lights off, and he leans in and says, staying late tonight again, Sarah? And she goes, yes, I've got to finish this report by the morning, and so just leave the hall light on for me. And he goes, you got it. And then he turns the rest of the lights off, and she's sitting there typing away, and then all of a sudden, from the shot of her at her computer, you see a silhouette figure walk past the door, and you hear the noise. And then she looks up and she goes, excuse me? And then she gets up and then she walks over and she tries to turn the light on, it doesn't turn on. And then she sees a silhouette figure walk through the office, passing through, just disappear behind a wall. She's like, is somebody in here? And then she goes back in her office and starts grabbing her bag, getting to leave. And then all of a sudden the silhouette figure is at the door and it's like a grayish silhouette. And then it starts to walk into the room and she freaks out, drops her phone, and it's a white silhouette figure and just looks at her and goes, whoa, and then the movie starts and the plot is, souls must exist on Earth for a set time frame. And so you cue the scene where the guy's telling her, like, more and more of these sightings are popping up all over the country of these strange figures appearing in buildings, and they look like people. And then this guy, it's a homeless guy, and he's like, he's telling her as the cars are crashing, and he's like, a soul must be on Earth for its time. When a soul is created, it's typically around 70 years. So if the person is killed when they're too young, their ghost lingers. That's how you get hauntings. But what happens with all of the abortions?
Ooh.
There's no ghost. There's no adult form. So they are faceless, amorphous silhouettes of people that never had a physical body. So while ghosts look like what they were in real life, and their souls linger until the soul expires, all the aborted babies are lingering around as identity-less, weird white-looking figures,
That's
and
so
they're
grim.
everywhere because of how commonplace abortion has become.
That is so grim.
Yeah, there's no way to do it for a mass audience.
No.
So it's a pure flicks idea where like
They're clumps,
pro-life crowd-
they're clumps of ectoplasm then?
You.
I mean, I like where your
no, they're
mind is going.
ghosts, but they don't have like a ghost of a person looks like the person, right? But because the babies are killed before they have physical human form, adult human form, the soul manifests as a blank white empty shell, and it doesn't communicate, it doesn't do anything humanly, it has no consciousness or identity. But the soul exists, and they're all trapped on Earth for
They
their
haunt the abortion doctors.
No, they haunt the point of the opening story where the woman is the businesswoman, and it's because that would have been her son, and so it's it's acting out its life what it would have been coming to see her if she had not decided to get an abortion to be a girl boss. So that would offend every liberal and Hollywood times 10, and they reject it and never go see it, and then call it fascist propaganda.
Yeah, that's typically what they do to silence you.
But that's my movie idea, and anyone is free to take it and make it. So there you go. In the meantime, we're going to go to the uncensored portion of the show and learn about Pringles, I guess. So smash the like button. Share the show with everyone you know if you do like it. Go to rumble.com/Timcast IRL if you want to watch the uncensored portion of the show. Use promo code TIM10 for $10 off your annual membership to the Premium Rumble. You can follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. Good sir, you want to shout anything out?
Yeah, well, I appreciate all my fans leaving super chats and comments. I was not really planning on telling the Pringles can story, but thank you very much for that. Winning, not really, but you'll get your wish.
Right on.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter or X and Instagram at Real Tate Brown. Come hang out.
I'd like to regretfully inform you that I am at least a little bit fake news. Brendan Fraser is not attached to the Mummy reboot. Lee Cronin from Evil Dead Rise is making
What?
it, but no Brendan Fraser. Be that what you will. If you guys want to follow me, I am on Instagram and on X at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. Pop Culture Crisis is live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. YouTube and Rumble. You should come hang out with us.
I am Phil That Remains on Twix. The band is All That Remains. You can check us out on YouTube, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, Spotify, and Deezer. And don't forget, The Left Lane is for Crime.
We will see you all over at rumble.com/TimcastIRL in about 30 seconds. Thanks for hanging out.